Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 Honda Classic. My name is Eric, and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying to hit the optimal lineup every single week, and that's what I'm going to try to do in this video. Went over a preview video yesterday, so we'll include a lot of the things we talked about in that video into this one. But of course, in the strategy video, what we're going to talk about, or what we're going to include, are the marquee tee times, the anchor buckets, and then really dive down and build some lineups at the end of the video. So if you have any combo of players that you'd like to include, I will build lineups at the end of this video to provide for you guys a little idea of how to maybe differentiate your lineups. So that's what we will be doing in this strategy video. Before we get into any of that though, some reminders. I do like to do giveaways, so one of two giveaways. Really, it's the same thing. I have a subscriber giveaway that I like to call, well, I should say, I've got a weekly and a monthly giveaway that I really call subscriber giveaways. All you need to do is be subscribed and comment down below or comment here in the live chat, and you're going to get a free entry into that giveaway. So any video that I post this week, you'll get a free entry into Monday's video, or a free entry into the giveaway that I will run during Monday's video next week in the preview video, and that's worth $5. All of your entries will also get put into the monthly giveaway. So it's really my way of rewarding you for participating on the channel. How's it going, Chad? Nice to see you. And if we don't, okay, so I'm distracted now, Chad. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. The monthly giveaway, I will give away $50 to someone as long as we hit the goal of 500 subscribers you see on the screen. If we don't, I'm going to give away this sweatshirt, or this t-shirt that has the logo on my sweatshirt. So again, it's my way of rewarding those that participate on this channel, my way of thanking you, really, for being a subscriber and for just interacting with the community. I also have another giveaway, but it's more like a rebate. Prize Picks. I have a link in the description below. If you click on that link, sign up on Prize Picks using the promo code SweetSpot and put at least $20 in your account, I'm going to give you $20 back. That way you can play Prize Picks for free. Plus, Prize Picks will give you a deposit match up to $100. So your 20 turns into 40, and really just costs you that initial sign-up information as well as that initial deposit. And you got $40 in your account to play with. Prize Picks is pretty fun. Kind of easy, if I'm gonna, like, it can be easy as long as you deploy the right strategies. So if you're in a state that allows it, again, there's a sign up link in the description below. Go check it out. I'd highly appreciate that if you did that. Now, I also have some giveaways. These are provided to you for free as long as you, well, first of all, on the screen, I have a cheat sheet. There's a link in the description for that. All you gotta do is just click on that and you see it. But if you want access to the filters that I have included in it, what you'll have to do is go up to the file menu and make a copy. That way it's yours. That way you can use the filters that I have on there. I have two tabs. One's called the Dream Sheet, one's called the Bucket System. And when I go over the anchor buckets in this video, you also can use the filters that I will be using. And I'll kind of, slowly go through it so that way you guys understand it. But that's available to you as long as you go to that file menu, make a copy. Again, link in the description below. And of course, I'm going to be building lineups using the optimizer. So if you want access to this, again, comment down below, be subscribed to the channel, and reach out to me right there. Contact information, just swipe by SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Just let me know you're interested in the optimizer and I will send it to you. All right, let's go ahead and get in this thing. I won't lie. I rushed to get this done by 6. I just got out of a meeting at 5:30 with my regular job, so I'm glad to have put all this together. And maybe why I'm a little frazzled here in the beginning, but we're good. We've gotten through it. Let's jump into it. We're gonna first talk about the SweetSpot ranks because those are gonna go into the marquee tee times, and all of that is used in the bucket system. So let's go ahead and talk about what goes into the rankings. I have this sorted right now, top to bottom. we'll come back and talk about these golfers here. There are some values that I deem to be valuable based off the rankings, but just to give you a heads up of what goes in the rankings, it doesn't really change week in and week out. Looking at OWGR, grass 1 is Bermuda stats. I don't have a grass 2. You can see all the numbers are the same. So we're looking at overall grass average, so their average finishing position on Bermuda golf courses dating back to 2013. This is one of those tricky golf courses that I'm not positive is overseeded or not. It's always like, there's always a point of contention. No, Chad, this is not my full-time job yet. I wish it could be. Usually it's all that I think about doing, so no, not yet. But hopefully someday soon. There is kind of a point of contention with grass, especially during this time of the year in Florida. It doesn't matter where in Florida. This could be Miami, Florida, which is, you know, the most southern tip, like the biggest cities that would host a PGA Tour event. But like, as far as I remember, you know, taking classes at school, agronomy classes, I know there's a certain temperature that it needs to be in order for Bermuda grass to grow, like to thrive. It needs to thrive. It could live at a certain temperature, but it won't grow. And at golf courses, especially the caliber of PGA Tour events, it has to grow because they're trying to cut it to a certain length. They're, especially on the greens, you're cutting it such a low length that if it doesn't like thrive, it doesn't grow at a constant rate, the greens, they get burnt out. They become really burnout. If you know what it's like to putt on burnout greens, it's not fun, and that's what would happen if they don't thrive. So I'm really always like, I don't know, so I include Bermuda. That's kind of how I'm looking at this one. I've used Bermuda at this golf course since 2013, really. And I'm just going to continue to include it because, of course, I don't have ryegrass. Like I keep everything on spreadsheets, and I didn't think about creating a ryegrass spreadsheet, but I do have a Bermuda grass spreadsheet. And I'm not going to look at bent grass or anything like that. So I don't know. If you want to include grass stats in your overall method, that's great. That's fine. I am using Bermuda, and you can see that it's toned down a little bit. You know, I'm giving like up to 100 points to OWGR. I'm giving up to 100 points for bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance. But grass stats, I have capped at 50. So the highest or the best golfer would have 50 points, and I don't think anyone in this field does. So I'm using Bermuda, but like not. I'm toning it down quite a bit. So just that's kind of a long-winded explanation of why I'm including Bermuda stats as opposed to any other stat. I personally also, I'm not confident in the grass stat, whatever it is this week. So it doesn't really matter to me. Let's move on. So the rest of the stats that are going into my model: tournament history, bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance. These recent form stats here are looking at the last 7 weeks. So we're going over DraftKings points, their average DraftKings points, their average finishing position, and their average scores, their average round scoring round, whatever. And this is based off of a 100-point model, but then also watered down 50%. So 50 would be the top point there. And then I'm going season-long stats. We're going DraftKings points, scoring average, round under 70 percentage, cut made percentage, DK top 10%. And then I'm just giving minus 1,000 to anyone who's out, which I've filtered out already. So you don't have to worry about this column. But that all goes into point total, and that point total then goes into my rankings. And lo and behold, of course, we have Sungjae Im at the top, which shouldn't be a surprise. I'm sure Sungjae is at the top of everyone's model this week. Followed by Shane Lowry. So it looks like DraftKings got it right with their top 2 golfers, but it's not difficult with how terrible the field is this week. But there's a huge surprise. Ben Griffin is number 3 in my model, and he's $7,900. I really like Ben Griffin this week. I don't see how I wouldn't include him in like my cash lineup. If I did cash, I really don't. But the lineup that I'll put in most of my contest will have Ben Griffin in it for sure. Like I don't see how I don't play Ben Griffin. He's also really good on Bermuda for the 7 events that he's been on the PGA Tour. Like this is just stellar. You know, I have this last year Bermuda set that goes back the full last year. So obviously that matches his overall Bermuda. He's a rookie this year, so obviously he's got 1 year under his belt. I like that with Bermuda. I'm not sure where he goes to college or where he grew up. I wish I had that stuff in here. I imagine it's probably Florida or in that area. Maybe one of you brave souls watching this video can let me know. But I think, yeah, Ben Griffin is quite this. He's a steal this week. So, and then from there, then it goes back down, or it goes to the 9K range, which we would expect. DraftKings does a pretty good job of pricing out their golfers. I don't care to talk really about anyone else. I guess one of the biggest surprises to me is maybe Alex Noren being priced $9,500. Yeah, I think he's okay, but I certainly would not, I would not include him whatsoever. Outside of that, I really have nothing else to talk about when it comes to the rankings. These rankings, by the way, are included into the metric for the optimizer. So if you are interested in the optimizer, this metric point right here, you can see matches up with what you see over here. So Sung Jae's number 1, 1071.66. You see that's in the metric right here. And that's how the optimizer determines, you know, your best plays or the best plays. So just so you know that. Now these rankings go into the marquee tee times, and how you can access that on the cheat sheet. Now that I remember to talk about this, of course, make a copy. There's a link in the description. Make a copy of this, and then go to the filter, put that filter on, and we're going to talk about this column here, group rank. So just so you guys are aware, if you are following along on the cheat sheet. I'm going to sort this from top to bottom. I guess one thing to note, I'm only going to talk about the top 9 groups. Ben Griffin is in group 10. Chris Kirk at $9,900. He's what, the 3rd ranked salary golfer here. He's in the 21st group. I think because this is such a low strength of field, that is kind of the reason why these groups are all wonky. So just to give you a heads up, how I determine the marquee tee times all is based off of the cumulative sweet spot rank in the group. So you can see Sung Jae's number 1, Matt Kuchar's number 9, and Adam Svensson is 20th in my model. These 3 scores combined are the lowest within each of the groupings. The next one is Aaron Wise, JT Poston, and Sepp Straka. Just to give you a heads up or an idea. That totals 37. The group above them is 30. And then obviously if you were to do that, if you wanted to validate my information, it goes down. So Ben Griffin went to UNC. Perfect. Thank you guys. Born and raised. So yeah, right in the Southeast, Bermuda. He's growing up on Bermuda. It just, man, it's a slam dunk, right? Is everyone? Where's Chad? Chad, you still in the chat? What's his projected ownership? I bet you it's pretty high. I would imagine it's high. It'd be crazy if it wasn't. But anyways, the marquee tee times, yeah, all the cumulative scoring or all the cumulative ranks go into the marquee tee times, and then I group rank, or I rank order them, so from top to bottom. And I think because it's such a weak field, like I said, Group 21 has Chris Kirk in it. Whereas who's he playing with? Yeah, so he's playing with JB Holmes, who I have ranked 133rd in the sweet spot ranks. So I don't know if that's really going to hurt him that much, but it does take him out of the marquee tee times. Now, why are the marquee tee times important to go over? Why stress, or why continue to talk about them? Well, over the last, 70 weeks? It's been over 70 weeks. I feel like it's been over 80 weeks. I've been keeping track of the top 9 groups of every single field, and 90% of the time we see at least one golfer in the marquee tee times in the optimal lineup. It's 95% of the time, sorry. 90% of the time we see at least 2 golfers from the marquee tee times in the optimal lineup. So really the rule that I have for you is select somewhere between 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times, because that's your best percentages, and build your lineups around them. And then the second piece to that is do not pair up the same golfer in the same group. So, you know, like Sung J M, Matt Kuchar, Adam Svensson. I would advocate not pairing 2 of those guys up in your lineups. Now, has it happened before where we've seen optimal lineups from the same group? Yes, but it's less than 5% of the time. How about the GPP winning lineups? Yes, but it's less than 10% of the time. Like, I keep track of these stats. So I'm giving you kind of like the, you know, just play the percentages type of strategy. So the percentages will say, you know, grab 2 to 4. This week, I'd say maybe grab 1 to 3. Like, feel comfortable in that 1 to 3 range. I'd feel uncomfortable selecting 4, although it's definitely doable. And I do include that in the optimizer. So if you are looking down here in this little group conditional, I already have it set up to select 1 to 4. So a minimum of 1, so at least 1, and a max of 4. We won't select any more from the marquee tee times, and those are all within these group numbers that you see in the optimizer. So we will be using the optimizer, and it will already be looking at the marquee tee times, so I don't even have to do that. I don't even have to figure out on all of that. Early projection on Ben Griffin is 15%. Yeah, I mean, I think as the week goes on, it's just going to get higher, right? I imagine it'll get higher. Just seems like too good of a value. Anyways, back to the marquee tee time. So I said select 2 to 4, and then don't select more than 1 golfer from a group. But by all means, if you feel brave enough, go ahead and do it. It's just the percentages aren't on your side, which obviously there are moments where there are mold breakers, as I like to call them. So if you like Sung Jae and Matt Kuchar, by all means, play them. Feel comfortable to do it. I personally would not play Adam Svensson. Like, that automatically eliminates Svensson. And we've only seen one time in the last 80 weeks or something like that. I'd have to really figure out the tracking on that. That we've seen 3 golfers from the same group in a GPP winning lineup, not in an optimal lineup. I don't think we've ever seen it in an optimal lineup, but in a GPP winning lineup, we've seen it one time. So if you are selecting 2, don't select a 3rd. It's not great, and especially if you're only building 1 lineup a week, or up to 10 lineups a week, just don't do it. Not smart. So that applies to all of these groups. So, that's the difficult thing if you're building like lineups with an outside optimizer, something somewhere else, where you can't keep track of this stuff, or you can't add those conditionals in there. You can with mine. Now, it only looks at the top 9 groups because it's an Excel spreadsheet. I could just have it look at marquee tee times and that's it, or just tee times in general and that's it. But, we're looking at the top 9 groups. There are a total of 47 groups. So, we're excluding, 38 some groups, 38, 37 groups. It's the best we can do, but it's also the easiest to anchor our lineups around. These are your best golfers in the field. My sweet spot ranks match a lot of what anyone else's rankings are out there, or even the DraftKings salary rankings, because we obviously know the salaries are based off of the odds to win. So yeah, I think grabbing 2 to 4 of these guys, if you're not comfortable grabbing 2, grab 1. Grab one of these guys and just anchor your lineups around that guy. That concludes marquee tee times. Let's go ahead and get into the anchor buckets. So again, if you're following along with me on the cheat sheet, I'll pull that up again. Just go down to the bucket system, add that filter. And of course, if you haven't already made a copy, go to file menu, make a copy, and then you can use the filter we're about to use. The anchor buckets for me are just a way to find a starting point and where to build our lineups around. So basically what I would do is say, go to the max projection filter, go to filter by condition, and go greater than or equal to 2. This is automatically going to bring in the minimums 1 or greater. Just the easiest way to do it. Sometimes if you go 1 or greater, you're going to get some that are less than 2, and we already know how all the bucket conditionals work. Now, when it comes to really narrowing down what we want to play, I would go filter by condition from the bucket total and the column L that says this year. Let's go less than or equal to, I'm going to go 30 just to, I didn't even look to see how many groups there are. Okay, perfect. Because I really want to narrow down on the golfers we're going to select. I'm really not going to care about the salary or the strokes gained buckets. They all kind of go hand in hand with how good the golfers are in the last year, course history, and recent form bucket. Of course, you can certainly look at those guys if you want. You know, strokes gained 1 is all stats over the last year for any golfer in this bucket are positive with strokes gained stats. That's how you can tell. And then salaries are an arbitrary thing, right? 9K, it's fine. It's easy to know what a 9K golfer is just by looking at DraftKings. So anyways, we're going to talk about these 3 buckets. The last year 1, course history 2, and recent form 2. And we want at least 1 of each of these. So we can start there and figure out some of the anchor plays. You know, this is a good time for you to maybe write some combos in the chat to build lineups around. So the first one is last year 1. Now these are golfers who top 20'd last year. And by the way, if you're following on the cheat sheet, I already skipped a couple steps here. I cleared everyone out of last year and just selected 1, and I also sorted it from Z to A on salaries. So this bucket, we want somewhere between 1 to 3. And remember, these projections are what I project to be inside the top 10 at the end of the week. So you don't have to select, you know, up to 3. It's just there's a high likelihood at least 1 golfer from this bucket will be inside the top 10 at the end of the week. There are some other stats you can look at, like frequency rate. This is basically saying, what is the frequency of dating back to 2014? My data goes back to 2013, but for this bucket, it starts recording in 2014 because in order to have one for 2013, I'd need to record stats back to 2012. You know, obviously you get that, right? So this goes back to 2014, and in those, 9 years, 10 years, something like that, the frequency rate's 77%. So it's a high frequency rate. Yes, on the bucket system tab, Mike. So SweetSpot, the cheat sheet, again, link in the description. If you go from Dream Sheet over to the bucket system, and then you go ahead and put that filter on, you can follow along with me while doing that. So just add those projections, or add those conditionals that I had. But again, going back to 2014, last year 77% of those years have had at least 1 golfer from this bucket inside the top 10. So I think it's an easy one to select, an easy one to choose. Now, the frequency rate of being in the optimal lineup is very low, so keep that in mind. But we already have some decent golfers in this bucket. We have Shane Lowry, Chris Kirk, Billy Horschel, Alex Noren, Adam Svensson. You know, I like Lee Hodges this week. It's a pretty good group of golfers. I already said I was going to build a strategy this week in the preview video, and I'll go over that when we start building lineups. I don't think I'm married to any of these guys. Like, I don't feel comfortable really anchoring around any of these golfers. I will let the optimizer basically do this for me. So I already have last year 1 bucket set to 1. And I agree with the bucket system that we're going to have at least 1 of these golfers inside the top 10. But I'm not sure who it is. I think Chad Eckert would probably want Billy Horschel, I'm assuming, since you want me to build lineups around Billy Horschel and Sung JM. That I could see definitely being the case. This is probably where you have the best choice of 9K golfers maybe to pick from. Like I said, I like Lee Hodges this week. Mark Hubbard isn't a terrible value down here, but I don't know if I can really reach to him. I have a hard time thinking about someone I want to anchor around in this bucket, if I'm being honest. Like, my first initial lean goes to like Chris Kirk. To me, he's just my favorite golfer out of all of these. and that's just more of a subjective thing, not even an objective, like stat-wise type of thing. I suppose grew up in Georgia, went to school at Georgia. He's going to be really comfortable on Bermuda greens. So yeah, I guess I don't mind. You know, if I had to choose a golfer to anchor around, it's probably going to be Chris Kirk for me. And then it's probably Billy Horschel. And then I just don't care. My boy Lee Hodges is from the southeast area, Tennessee, went to school at Alabama. So yeah, Lee Hodges, again, to me, not a terrible choice. The next bucket we want to look at for the anchor buckets are course history 2s. So this is basically, I mean, I think there are only like 2 golfers in the course history 1 bucket. So this is basically your best course history. Golfers who have the best course history here at this event this year is going to be in this bucket. So we're going to select everybody from the last year tab and then clear out everyone in the course history tab except for 2. And just to show you, course history 1, Lee Hodges and Matthias Schwab. Now, I would only pick one of these guys, honestly. If you like both of them, I would just select one. But going to the course history 2 bucket, we have Sung Jae here. I mean, he's done well a bunch of times. Last year he missed the cut, but we're not afraid of that. We're not afraid of playing someone who missed the cut. Then we have Shane Lowry, Taylor Pendrith. Really like Taylor Pendrith this week. Svensson shows up once again, so he's been in 2 of the anchor buckets. Now again, that doesn't ensure a top 10. It just increases his likelihood of being inside the top 10, and not because of the buckets. It's just he has the stats, like the performance trends that would lead to a top 10 finish. So if that gives you more confidence playing Adam Svensson, all the better. But it's really anybody of this bucket we want somewhere between 1 to 3 of these guys in our lineups. So to me, I mean, Sung Jae is easy for me to get to. Also, Taylor Pendrith is really easy to get to. If I was going to start a lineup, like if I'm only building one lineup, I'm probably going Sung Jae and Pendrith, and then just seeing what the optimizer does from there. And the rest of these guys, I don't have an issue playing any of them, including Webb Simpson, which I know, you know, like if Eric Quagnus Martins was watching this, he'd be excited to hear that. I'm sure Chad Eckert's probably excited to hear this too. Yeah, I don't mind going back to someone like Webb Simpson. You know, he's been playing pretty terribly as of late. I know he's still rehabbing from an injury that he had like 2 years ago. So I don't know if that's just going to be a lingering thing for the rest of his career. But I don't mind, you know, taking a shot with Webb Simpson. Like, I think that's fine. Also, you know, any of these guys above, I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say I don't mind playing any of the guys above. I kind of really like Benny Ann, but first of all, this is the Honda Classic, so you're gonna have to embrace volatility. But the golfers that I've just highlighted, you have to face volatility with those golfers. They're all just, I mean, Ryan Palmer, he could shoot, you know, 9 under one of these rounds and then follow it up with a 14 over. That's just the volatility of Ryan Palmer. Now, if he makes the cut doing that, you've got some good scoring from him. So I wouldn't be too afraid of playing Ryan Palmer, but, you know, I'm not sure. Not something that I'm looking to do. Okay. Those are your course history 2 guys. Again, you want somewhere between 1 to 3, or at least I'm projecting 1 to 3 to be inside the top 10. It literally could be Im and Lowry that finish inside the top 10, and that would satisfy the bucket projections. By the way, last week, we were 35 out of 36 buckets correct, so pretty high success rate. And if you followed the bucket system, you followed the sweet spot process, you could have built a lineup. Remember, I do this very strict. I say you can only select 1 to 3 of these guys, 2 to 4 of these guys. Following that strict method, we were 7 points, 8 points behind the optimal lineup and 20 points ahead of the GPP winning lineup. So, yeah, it can be done following kind of a strict conditionals or strict condition. So anyways, feel confident in following the sweet spot process. Now, the last bucket to look at is the the recent form 2 buckets. Let's take a look at those guys. And again, we want 1 to 3 of these golfers and a bunch of guys that I like. So I like Sung Jae. I like Chris Kirk. I don't mind Kuchar here. I like Denny. I like Thomas Dietrich. if there was really a bucket that would be hard for me to choose from, it'd be this one. These have a bunch of golfers I like. Now, 1 to 3 is my kind of cap. Now, could this get broken? Like, could 4 golfers from here finish inside the top 10? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you could probably roster those 4 golfers, but I'm still going to follow the sweet spot process, the bucket projections, and just choose 1 to 3 of these guys. Now, if I were to really build a lineup, you remember I like Taylor Pendrith from that last bucket. Sungjae, I'd go Sungjae, Taylor Pendrith, and Ben Griffin. And I might include Benny Ann here and there. I also don't mind playing Dietrich at a course like this. Although like his recent success has been more on like bent grass or overseeded type of tournaments. I don't know how well he does on Bermuda. I think he played okay at the Corales Punta Cana, although that's not Bermuda. It's a very close comparison with the Sea-Pass Palom. But I don't know. I think if there was a week maybe you don't play Thomas Dietrich, this would be the week. And if he's at a higher ownership, wonderful. We just get to fade ownership naturally, because probably don't really like that. What's going on, Oren? How are you? So anyways, yeah, this is a fun bucket to choose golfers with. And I really haven't given you a lot of confidence in who I would probably anchor around. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some lineup builds. You guys have some combos to share? Some combos to build lineups around? I know Mr. Eckert wants to see some Im and Horschel lineups, so let's go ahead and pull up the optimizer. Let me go ahead and put, let's open this up to everybody, so we can come back and reference this every once in a while. Let's go ahead and open the optimizer up, and let's zoom in a little bit. I'm actually going to play some music too. I think we're good, right? Yep, okay. Get some mood music going. All right. So here's my strategy. I'll get into Chad. I'll do some Horschel and Im lineups, but here's what I was talking about in the preview video. I want to start with someone like Sungjae Im. And then what I'm going to do is basically, I don't have this sorted by 9Ks, but I don't have this set to 100% like I usually do. What I'm going to do is have the optimizer make sure it selects one 9K golfer. And the ownership percentages for a lot of these 9Ks are above 18%. So if you were to think how many 9K golfers we have, I'm going to have to go here. We have 8. So 8 divided by 100 is roughly 12. So as long as their percentage is over 12, we'll always have kind of a unique lineup build with a 9K golfer. So it'll always select a new 9K. So if I go ahead and hit, lock in Sungjae and make sure it selects one 9K golfer, what it's going to do for me is it's going to go down the list. It's going to be like, okay, we want Sungjae in our lineup because I'm locking him in. But then whatever the best value or the best optimal lineup with Sungjae and a 9K golfer will go next. So let's just pretend that that's like Chris Kirk. So the first lineup will be Sungjae and Chris Kirk. Well, I have exposure levels right here. So first lineup I build is going to have Chris Kirk in it. So Chris Kirk's ownership then goes to 100% because he was picked 1 out of 1 lineups. That's 100%. Of the time he's been chosen. So because my exposure is set to 19%, he's going to be eliminated from the next at least 5 builds. So then it'll choose a new 9K golfer and it'll continue to do that. But essentially what I'm going to do is select Sungjae and I'm going to build one lineup with Chris Kirk. I'm going to build one lineup with Billy Horschel, one lineup with Alex Noren combined with Sungjae, and I'm going to go down the list. And I'm going to do that also with Shane Lowry. So I have the optimizer sorted by the metric because that's kind of how the optimizer works. It first kind of scans the top golfer and looks at some of the conditionals, how this matches up with what is in here. And it determines, okay, this follows his conditionals. This golfer's gonna be at the top of our list. And it's gonna scan through the rest of the golfers and look for the second best one, and then the third and the fourth and the fifth. Sometimes it will scan and go, well, you know what? Let's look at a different, golfer, because it'll go, okay, Sungjae with Aaron Wise seems like the best fit because he's my top-rated 9K golfer. But we can't find a real optimal lineup that goes Sungjae, Aaron Wise. There's actually a better lineup that goes Sungjae, Thomas Dietrich, and that will show up first. And that's how the optimizer works. Just to give you kind of a little heads up. Hey, what's going on, Shot Like Harden? Well, let me say hi to everyone. Gabe, what's going on, man? Nice to see you again. Hingo, Nick Simon. Yeah, Nick Simon. That's a new participant. I have not seen Nick Simon in here before. Welcome to the channel. If you're still watching, that is. Give me 2 golfers you'd like me to build some lineups around. Oren, we said hi already. Mike Burns, if I didn't say hi already, hello. Hello to everyone. And anyone that's just lurking who hasn't said hi yet, feel free, man. Okay. So now that you kind of have an understanding of how I'm going to build lineups this week, that's just what I'm going to do. I took 100% of the lineups last week that we built on stream and threw them into the into all the contests that I did. Not great. So, Shot Like Harden, where's our friend Barry? I have some words with Barry. Barry owes me money because he told me it was Jaeger, it was List. He let us down. I mean, they all made the cut, so that was great, but he let us down. All right, let's run the first lineup. Let's do a Sungjae lineup. I just want to see what the optimizer. Well, first of all, okay, yeah, and so I like this lineup a lot. Sungjae M, Ben Griffin, Billy Horschel, Benny Ann, Ben Taylor, Ben Martin. A ton of Bens, right? Ben Griffin, Ben Taylor, Ben Martin, and of course the nickname Byung-Hun An, we just call him Benny Ann. Bunch of Bens with Billy and Sungjae. That sounds like a, what would we call it? 4 Bens? Trying to think of like a country, like a bluegrass band that we would include 4 Bens, a Billy, and a Sungjae. Yeah, did Tway make the cut? I think he did, didn't he? I don't know. Yeah, he got it, but anyways. Yeah, okay, so Billy Horschel was the first 9K golfer to go with Sungjae M, which, hey, that's not terrible. I don't mind that. I like the lineup. But I think what I'm going to do is just start building lineups for you guys. Ben folds 4. Oh, if I had like a contest, I would totally leave it up to chat to give me the best name. Let's go with some what heck? Chad, we did a Billy Horschel and a Sungjae M lineup right away. And I didn't even have to choose. The optimizer just naturally did it once I locked in Sungjae M. So I guess this is your lineup, Chad. So it's gonna select the same thing because I already cleared up Ben Martin. So we'll run it again. We'll find a non-Ben Martin lineup that goes with Sungjae and Billy. Includes Davis Riley, which was a golfer I've been talking about in the preview videos. I do like Davis. And I don't mind adding like Satoshi Kodaira to it at all. Looks like we're kind of getting the same core of Griffin, Horschel, Benny Ann, and Riley. Now we get to change it up a little bit, but Ben Griffin's just going to always be in there. And I am kind of like, I really like Ben Griffin, so this week when the optimizer selects him, I'm going to have a hard time saying no. Hey, Shot Like Harden, do you like Ben Griffin this week? Sung Jae, Billy Horschel, Will Gordon. Hey, I don't mind Will Gordon. And then Benny Ann, Davis Riley, and Eric Cole. I don't know a lot about Eric Cole other than he's a shorter Eric that wears dumb pants. That's all that I know. I have no idea who Eric Cole is. Tyson Alexander, you remember the after the Sony Open, I think it was the American Express, I was talking up Tyson Alexander. I'm like, I like this guy because of what the broadcast was talking about Tyson Alexander. I don't know how I feel about him this week or just going forward, but this lineup looks pretty solid. I could do with this lineup. I'd be just fine with this lineup. Can someone tell me what where Tyson Alexander went to school? Maybe we can if he went to one of the Southeast schools, I probably would I would save this and put it in the $5 driving green. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. That is one of those things as like a content creator. If I participate on DraftKings, I'm not supposed to tell you which lineups to put in which contests. So that was not supposed to happen. All right, we'll do a couple more with Billy Horschel and Sung Jae, and then we'll move to the next one. ISU? Is that Iowa State University? Oh, he did go to University of Florida. There we go. Tyson Alexander, perfect. There we go. I mean, that last lineup I liked quite a bit. Sung Jae, Billy Horschel, Cameron Davis, Benny Ann, Davis Riley, Sung Yul No. Now, I don't mind playing someone like Sung Yul No. If you don't know a lot about this guy, he had to do the Korea military thing, the South Korea military, where I think every adult male has to serve 2 years, I believe. He'd been playing good golf before he had to go and serve. Now, you get breaks if you win a major championship or if you win a gold medal, or a medal, I should say. It could be a bronze medal at the Olympics. But outside of that, you have to fulfill your duty in South Korea. So that took him out of the game for a little while, and then he lost his rhythm. Just couldn't get back into it. I think he's a good talent. So if you needed a cheap 6K golfer, I have no issue playing a Sung Yul No. Especially when he's already shown a few decent results lately. I guess what we could do is... Sung Yul No was what, $6,500? 61st in my model. I need to update his golfer information. Not super great course history here, which doesn't help. It doesn't, yeah, not great. Any golfer that has a higher than 0% on Bermuda top 10 success rates, I think that's fine. I think they're all decent plays. Not great stats over the last 7 weeks, pretty poor. He's very bad off the tee, very bad approach. Okay, let's retract what we just said. We'll, I guess maybe call me a little bit of a sucker, or, you know, whatever. I hope Sung Yul No does well, but yeah, stats don't look really good. Shot like Harden, I think I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. What I want to say about Sung Jae is he moved to America. I don't know if he became a resident of the United States. But he will. I think, what is the rule? Because like Siwoo Kim will need to do that eventually. There is an age that you need to serve by. I don't know if it's like 24, 25, but I feel like Siwoo Kim has to be getting close to that age. Whereas Sung Jae is not. Like Sung Jae is still what, 21, 22, 23? He's young. 24, I think he is. Yeah, 24. Sung Jae is 24. So I don't know, man. I I would imagine Siwoo is a couple years older than Sungjae. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the rules work anymore. I guess that's what I should have led off with, is I'm not sure how they work anymore. Oh, 18 to 35. So I think it's what, like 2 years? They need to do 2 years of service. Something like that. Doesn't matter. We're talking about Sung-Yul No. We can move on, but we can continue that conversation. That's something good to know, especially if we're, Sungjae fans and fans of other South Korean golfers. All right, moving on. Oh, I did say one more, and that was the one more. Well, one more once again, and we include Ryan Moore, which just seems fitting. This is the lineup that wins it all. I don't mind Robbie Shelton either. Where did Robbie go to school? He kind of looks like a southern boy. Yeah, Alabama, of course. All right, that's a solid lineup too. I do believe I have some other combos in there, so let's go ahead and take a look. Scrolling down the list, let's see. Alex McCullough, can you explain grass like a Midwestern? We only see grass 6 months out of the year. Alex, what are you actually asking? Is that more of a joke? I mean, I took it as a joke, but if you want to know information about Midwestern grasses, I can certainly tell you. Let's see here. I think the next one we're gonna look at is a Pendrith and Buckley. I love when people come in here and give me like just random 7K golfers or like lower price guys, because like it's really easy to get to like to start with a 10K golfer. So I enjoy looking at these. Mike Burns on the spot, just finding all the information that we are interested in. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Let's do Pendrith and Hayden Buckley. So Pendrith is what? 6th in my model. And Buckley, where are we at, Buckley? Here we are. I like that choice, by the way. $7,600 Buckley. It's a solid lineup. It's like a cash game lineup. Ben Griffin, the best value once again. By the way, Mike, if there's a golfer that continues to pop up like Ben Griffin and you don't like him, just post in the chat like, can you please exclude this golfer, and I'll exclude that golfer. So if you didn't like anyone on this list, let me know and I'll exclude them. Now, because Hayden Buckley is actually a lower value than the rest of the other guys, not even a value, just the score, the sweet spot score is lower. I'm gonna have to manually remove someone. So what I'm thinking about doing is getting rid of Cameron Davis. So Cam Davis will be removed, and we'll move on to the next one. So we just replaced 2 guys. Looks like Chris Kirk and Ben Griffin are gonna probably show up a bunch. So if you don't like either of those guys or you want to see a little diversity, I can also exclude them as well. I do like Davis Riley. I don't mind playing Christian Bezainhout this week. I think that's actually a pretty solid play. He, from what I remember, like the thing that I first noticed about Christian Bezainhout is he plays tough golf courses where the winning score is like a low winning score. He plays those types of tournaments really well. So that to me, I feel like is a good indicator of success at this tournament. So I don't mind playing someone like a Christian Bezainhout. And really all together, this group seems pretty decent. So let's run it again, and I'm sure we'll see Chris Kirk and Ben Griffin at the top once again. Oh yeah, I have to close someone out. Let's close out Chris Kirk. You let me know if you want to keep Kirk in there, but I'm going to lock him out. We have Ben Griffin, Taylor Pendrith, Denny McCarthy, which not a terrible choice either. Davis Riley, Adam Svensson, and Hayden Buckley. Yeah, I don't mind that lineup. Definitely, when we anchor around those 2 golfers, Pendrith and Buckley, we're getting more of a conservative type of build. I'm not sure. We could probably lock in a 10K golfer if you'd like. And that way we'd probably drop into the 6K range, something like that. So, I'm gonna lock out Svensson. I like this lineup for its upside. Ben Griffin, Taylor Pendrith, Thomas Dietrich, Denny McCarthy, Hayden Buckley, and Mark Hubbard. I think that's a pretty decent one. I'm gonna build a couple more. Mike, if there's actually like a third or fourth golfer you'd like me to anchor around, let me know, and I will certainly do that. Here's another good lineup that I like. Aaron Wise, Taylor Pendrith, Billy Horschel, Benny Ann, Hayden Buckley, and Aaron Baddeley. Now, Baddeley wasn't playing so bad like earlier this year. Right on, Mike. Yeah. I think when you start, if you anchor around those middle people, it provides the most, well, obviously the most optimal lineup based off of the sweet spot ranks. I usually force it to select a 10K golfer, you know, whether it's through the conditionals here or I lock them in. I usually force the optimizer to do that, but when you don't, it usually does gravitate towards like 8 and, you know, like a more balanced build like this. Going back to Baddeley, I don't know. What has Baddeley done recently? So $7,000, Aaron Baddeley. In a marquee tee time, 5th best one. He's actually been pretty good on Bermuda. Recent form stats, pretty break even. Over the last 7 weeks, and then season long, pretty poor off the tee, but I don't think that really matters here. You don't really have to pummel the ball. Wow, pummel the ball too far. I'll look at another spreadsheet that I have. Let's see, $7,000. Aaron Baddeley, so 37th at Pebble. Missed the cut at the Farmers Insurance Open. He's a short ball hitter. We expect something like that since that's a big boy track. The American Express and the Sony Open. So not terrible for 7K. You probably could do worse. I don't mind that. Yeah, that's fine. This is a lineup I can really get behind. A lot of good golfers. Ben Griffin, Taylor Pendrith, Denny McCarthy, JT Poston, Hayden Buckley, Lee Hodges. I'm actually going to save that one. So I'm not going to actually save it because I don't want to get there just yet. Let's build one more, maybe 2 more, depending on what the next one is, and then we'll get to the next combo. Actually, I'll Poston Shelton. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. Pendrith, Dietrich, Benny Ann, Davis Riley, and Alex Noren. So that's a very interesting lineup. 2 9s and 8 and 3 7s. All for 50,000 bucks. Solid. I don't mind that at all. Anyone else in chat, go ahead and post your duos or trios or even quads. I will build lineups around all of them. Maybe it'll give you a little differentiation on your lineup builds. Poston and Shelton. All right. This should probably produce similar lineups that it did for Mike Burns. Ben Griffin, Chris Kirk, JT Poston, Cam Davis. Yep, of course. And then it adds in Danny Willett, which I don't mind Danny Willett this week. I think that's a decent play. Sneaky play. And it just substitutes Willett with Aaron Baddeley, which again, just talked about, not terrible. Ben Griffin, Chris Kirk, JT Poston, Christian Bezainhout, Robbie Shelton, Brandon Wu. That's not terrible either. And Shot Like Harden, whenever you come back, I can continue building lineups for you. I don't know if you're back already, but if you don't like Ben Griffin or Chris Kirk, I can obviously remove those golfers from continuing to be picked, or maybe I'll just do it right now. I actually really like this lineup. I like that lineup a lot. Let's say no to Chris Kirk. And come to think about it, when I said no to Chris Kirk during Mike's builds, did I also cross out Ben Griffin? I don't remember. Or did Ben Griffin just continue to show up? I don't remember. Anyways, Ben Griffin, Matt Kuchar, JT Poston, Cam Davis. I like Lee Hodges more than I like Cam Davis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back down here and open this back up, and I'm going to actually remove Cam Davis. Little better sweet spot score, but I don't necessarily care about Cam Davis. Like I said, I like Lee Hodges better. Griffin, Dietrich, Poston, Svensson, Shelton, and Hodges. I like that one. Very, very balanced on that one. McCarthy, Poston, Gordon, Benny Ann, Adam Svensson, Robbie Shelton. Another super balanced build, which I think is fine. And Robbie Shelton is the low one, but I'm going to remove Svensson. Here's a different one. Hendrith, Kuchar, JT Poston, Benny Ann, Robbie Shelton, and Dylan Fratelli. I like that one a lot. I do like that one. Man, this field is so bad. God, I almost want to leave. I should probably leave more money on the table. I'm gonna open this back. I'm gonna open this up to 49,000. Anyone else have any duos? Anything to share? Any questions? Griffin, Kuchar, Poston, Christian Bazane. I like this lineup a lot as well. I'm just gonna leave it as is though. Yeah, 49,000. Jeez, leaving a lot of money on the table. It's crazy. I didn't even have to force it to leave a lot of money on the table. It just already did. Kind of don't like that about DraftKings this week, is how poorly they structured the salaries. Like having just two 10K golfers, it just now it. I don't know. I guess I don't know how I feel, because I don't really care about ownership, but I guarantee you this just now gravitates towards a more conservative build. I think everyone's going to have these conservative builds, which is fine. It's fine. They are the better golfers in the field, but now you're just open up to more of them. McCarthy, Kuchar, Im? Yeah, absolutely, man. Charlotte Carden, I built a few lineups for you. I don't know how much of it you saw, but I had asked you if you wanted me to, because I removed Chris Kirk from it. I could remove Ben Griffin because he keeps showing up a bunch. Here's a lineup I can get behind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, baby. It's an easy one. Another, well, no 10K, but adding another 6K in there with Eric Barnes. One more. MJ Duffy. Okay. I mean, if Byron was in the chat, he could let us know about MJ Duffy, fellow South African. Let's see here. We want... Yeah, Charlotte Carden. I made a few ones before that. I mean, with Chris Kirk and Ben Griffin in it, so... Let's see here. We want... McCarthy, Kuchar, Im. All right. So right away, what I'm going to say is Kuchar and Im are playing together. That violates the sweet spot process. Gabe, come on. You know better. I'll still build lineups with them in it. Don't worry. But they are paired together. Let's see. Denny McCarthy, where are you at? Right here. Open that up to 2 and go ahead and select more. I didn't look at weather. Anyone look at weather? How does wherever the Honda Classic is being played, what's the weather like there for Thursday, Friday? Do we have any wave stacks that we need to be considering? Wow, Gabe, this brings in Ryan Palmer, Aaron Baddeley, and Brian Stewart. We're not getting any, like, pretty sexy lineups. Hubbard and Palmer. This could be like a bucket restriction that it has to include like Mark Hubbard because we are asking the strict conditions to do certain things. If I get rid of Hubbard, I saw what you said. You want me to remove Kuchar, which I will. I just want to see how many lineups I can build. So if it's not Hubbard, then it's Palmer, and then it breaks. So it's already not liking that combination together. But yeah, like you said, we can remove Kuchar. But if you were to do Kuchar or if you do all three of those, you would have to involve Palmer, Ryan Palmer, and or Mark Hubbard. Hey man, that's not untrue. I don't think there are any sexy lineups this week. I'll say that until one comes along. I'll be like, ooh, that one is real sexy. I think there's a longer delay on this stream than there has been in previous ones. I have my stream up. Oh, never mind. I'm way behind. Never mind. Just kidding. I like to have my stream up just to make sure like it doesn't go down and to make sure that it's fine. What about wind? So we want to talk about when we think about weather stacks, there's nothing that affects a golfer more than wind. We don't necessarily care about rain. What is like the average mile per hour? And I apologize for not having this up. Is it Palm Gardens? Is that where this golf course is played? I think that's what it is. Yeah. If anyone can give me like the Thursday range of wind versus the Friday range of wind, if there's anything like egregious, then we'll make our updates to our process. But other than that, I think we just leave it as is. Hey, Gabe, I like this lineup a lot, by the way. Sungjae, we're following the 10-9-8-7-7-6. Sungjae, McCarthy, Pendrith. I already like Pendrith and Sungjae together, period. And we get to include a 9K golfer and McCarthy, you know, and Ben Martin. They call him Benny or Bermuda Benny. So, like, hey, I don't mind that. Palm Beach Gardens, that's right. And even something like this, Harry Hall. I mean, he's our new Bryson, right? Isn't he the guy that wears the cap that Bryson used to wear? I can't remember. Another big beefy dude. Looks like Pendrith just gets grabbed with your duo, Gabe, which I think is wonderful. I like Pendrith a lot this week. So Ben Taylor, Mark Hubbard. So is Mark Hubbard also? Yeah, okay. So I wonder if there's something with Denny McCarthy that has to include Mark Hubbard. Like, and when I X out Mark Hubbard, I bet if Ryan Palmer takes a spot, then there's definitely a bucket situation that is causing those golfers to continue to be selected. I don't have anything against Hubbard, but I want to see more diversity when building lineups. Are we talking about Paul Haley? If we're talking about Paul Haley, he's not a good golfer, Gabe. I was tricked by him like a few weeks ago, but and he could be fine at this course. Like You know, it's not a overwhelmingly long golf course. Probably adds more strategy, but I guess when it comes to potential, I would say Paul Haley has very little. Ryan McQueen, what's going on, man? What did you miss? Just I think we've built like 3 combos of lineups already. Probably, you know, 5 to 8 lineups each. So we're probably like 30 lineups into this. Maybe less, just a little less. Brian Stewart, I don't mind in this lineup. 10-9-8-7-7-6. Yeah, that works too. And Ryan Palmer did not get put in here. Thursday, 13 mile an hour. Friday and Saturday, 9. Okay, so there really isn't a wind advantage for any of the tee times. Thank you for looking that up, Mike. Appreciate that. We get to see Sung Yil No once again in this lineup. I don't have any issue against that lineup. Man, I wish Sung Kang was playing better, because then I would actually tell Shot Like Harden that I think this is a sexy lineup. But I don't. Because Sung Kang is stinking it up. Shot Like Harden, does this constitute as a sexy lineup? I'm gonna leave it in your hands. I think this is okay. I would date this lineup. I mean, I would go on a date with this lineup. I think it's fine. It looks good. I think this one looks good, Gabe. Ryan McQueen, I went over the anchor buckets in this video, and there wasn't really anyone that really like popped out that I absolutely thought needed to be played. Sung Jae is the first one that comes to mind, because he's in a couple of the anchor buckets that we want to play, and he's just kind of a no-brainer at a golf course like this. Pendrith, Ben Griffin, these are also names that were showing up. I think the last bucket we looked at wasn't really sure what we liked. All right, Gabe, have a good one, man. Just so you know, we're 1 hour and 7 minutes into this, so you can just skip to the 1 hour 7 minute mark, and you'll be caught up if you watch the rest in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty good. So what else are we gonna look at here? Mondo, is that Mondo Angelucci? Hey, welcome in, by the way. I have not seen that name in the chats whatsoever. How about Bads? Playing very well this season so far. Tons of experience and always a world-class putter. I did touch up on Aaron Baddeley not too long ago. I do like Bads, and we went, I think if I even pull it up, we go to this page here. Yep, I still have him highlighted from what we talked about before. Yeah, he's got some good finishes, and then he missed the cut at the Farmers Insurance Open, something that we would have expected, but I think he's a solid play, especially if you're going to play like cash lineups. He's very good. So yeah, I think if you want to play Aaron Baddeley, that's fine. Just getting caught up with chat here. He was 4-4 in cuts made in my comp court. Okay. Ryan McQueen, there you go. Yeah, 16 out of 20 Sung Jae lineups. That sounds good to me, man. Yeah. You know what kind of stinks about this tournament, and really what kind of stinks about just tournaments that have to follow any major event, is it's burnout concerns. You know, like golfers are just, I think this is I was trying to remember fumbling over my words because I can't remember who the heck I was thinking of. I think it was Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth is playing like 7 out of 8 weeks, and this is the only week that he took off. Something like that, or maybe it was Justin Thomas. But it's like, yeah, you need one break. Which tournament, if you were to go look at the last 5 weeks. Like, let's see here. Just thinking about the tournaments that were played. Tournament of Champions, that's in Hawaii. I mean, why not? Plus, it's if you're a champion, you get to play here. It's a limited field event. You're gonna make money just showing up. Sony Open in Florida as well. Why not play that? The American Express, you might want to take a break here because it's a long tournament, but it's in Palm Springs, La Quinta, really, but that whole area, Palm Springs, La Quinta, that's another destination area. Why wouldn't you want to play that course? And it's easy. The atmosphere is very laissez-faire. It's very relaxed. Like, it's wonderful. Then you get a big boy golf course. You know, going to Torrey Pines at Farmers Insurance Open. You're testing out your skills on a big boy golf course, like a major type track. Obviously, this is a course that Tiger Woods has done really well at. So you're kind of just testing your capabilities against something like that. And of course, Pebble's iconic. Now, this is another Pro-Am, very cold weather. Well, I mean, maybe we just don't play this tournament because of those reasons. Or you get to play Pebble Beach, which you really don't get access to that much. So why not? Waste Management, or WM Phoenix Open. Obviously, we know what that's all about. That's a fun course in the desert. Once again, perfect weather. Like, why not? And the Genesis at the Riviera Country Club, another big boy golf course. Why wouldn't you play that just to test your skills? So if there's going to be a break we're going to do, because after the Honda Classic, we're going to the Arnold Palmer Invitational. That has a rich history. Another big boy golf course. Again, testing your skills. This is a very classic spot to take a break. And that's what the issue is with the PGA Tour. This is always probably going to be a pit stop, or it's going to be a time off for most of the golfers. So it needs to fix that. Like, it needs to somehow make this like, so we were just at the Genesis. Why not go to the American Express? You know, that'd be, I mean, it's the same type of tournament, right? It's another week off for most of these guys, but John Rahm went to the American Express. I guarantee you, you'd still have 2 or 3 guys that still would play here. But again, we're going from basically POA, overseeded grass here. We have POA here, overseed, and probably Bermuda. Maybe this is Bermuda as well, but either way, you don't have a bunch of Bermuda, so why not take a week off? You know, if tournament play, maybe head home, play on some Bermuda tracks, because most of these people are in Florida, and then go to the Arnold Palmer. So I don't know how to fix it, but yeah, this almost feels like a Corrales Punta Cana field, honestly. Sorry for that long diatribe, but yeah, Ryan, I can send that to you. I am currently using it, so I don't think I can attach it in an email right now, and I didn't save a copy of it, so I'll send it after the stream. And if you want this beforehand, you can send me an email reminding me. I was running a little low on time today. I basically finished the optimizer 1 minute before starting the stream. So I didn't give myself a lot of time. I had a work meeting that lasted until about 5:30, a little bit after 5:30, so my time, and I was going live at 6. So let's see here. Oh, did you send me one? My bad, Ryan. My bad. I had a very busy afternoon. Yes, you did. You sure did. And so did Mike Burns. Sorry, guys. Mike sent it early in the morning. I should have seen that. My apologies, gentlemen. I will send that to you right after this. So, going back to building some lineups. I feel bad. I didn't open up my emails this week. Or not this week, but today. All right. Let's go ahead and get back into some lineup builds. Are we satisfied with the Sungjae Denny? Was this Gabe's? Yeah, this was Gabe's lineups. Looks like we're just getting the same 5 golfers. Mike, never expected, always appreciated, but you do not feel like you need to do any of that. All right, so if you have some more combos, go ahead and paste some in the chat. Let's go over some realistic strategies, right? So I went through this in the preview video. Obviously, we went over some past optimal lineups, you know, and figured out some of these. Didn't really like dive deep into them because obviously these videos are long enough as they are. MQ means Monday qualified, by the way. So in 2018, we had 5 10K golfers. Ricky was your top guy, followed by Rory McIlroy. So your top or your favorite salaried golfer. So I mean, DraftKings ranked these based off of odds mostly. So Ricky Fowler and Rory obviously didn't play well, but then you had JT and Alex Noren up here. Now, if you look at Alex Noren's recent form prior to that, he was playing good golf coming into that tournament. So I don't feel like that's the same as Alex Noren this year. Same happened with JT, Justin Thomas. And then we kind of had some wavering, like missed cuts and stuff like that out of Ricky Fowler and Rory McIlroy. So basically what I'm trying to do is figure out what's the best strategy of building lineups based off of past years' successes. So that was 2018. We can do the same thing for 2019. And I'm just looking at like the top priced guys because it's just easier to build lineups when you start at the top. And also when we feed it into the optimizer, it's going to limit the amount of lineups we can create. So we're just trying to figure out what would be the best lineup makeup. And again, okay, first of all, here, let me go ahead and put filters on this for all of them because I'm already seeing a trend. Not saying trends just always happen, but let's continue. Kind of look at this. Alternative, or alternate, I should say. They didn't have a price in there, and there were enough withdrawals to put him in there, so that's why he's there. Okay, so here's what I'm kind of seeing. Let me get one on 2022 as well. I'm gonna highlight the first 5 guys in each of these fields, and you tell me what you see. So we're looking at the top price guys, right? 2018. Do I have one for 2017? I don't remember. No. So 2018. We have 2 guys in the optimal lineup. 2019, we've got 2 guys in the optimal lineup. In 2020, we've got 1 guy in the optimal lineup and another guy top 8. 2021, we got 1 guy in the optimal lineup and a guy in the top 8, and then a guy in the top 13. So really 3 guys in the top 13. And by the way, GPP winning lineup that year used 2 of these guys, Adam Scott and Russell Henley. 2022, we've got 1 guy in the optimal lineup. That's it. So just over the last 5 years of salary construction, we see 1 guy in the optimal lineup of the top 5 golfers in DraftKings salaries. So I guess that begs the question, which of these 5 are going to be in the optimal lineup, right? And I don't know, again, people hate this with pattern analysis because it's like, oh, we're human beings, we don't like patterns. it is always based off of numbers. DraftKings, they are creating their salaries based off of the odds to win this event, based off of ownership that's going to be put in there as well, I'm sure, whatever their algorithm is. But it is a rank order of the golfers they think are the best here. And I'm also not putting this on DraftKings' shoulders, because they also get this from Vegas. And where does Vegas get it from? They get it from just doing the numbers and realizing which golfers are the best suited at this track. And of course, where the money's coming from too. That has nothing to do with a player's performance. But if we were literally looking at this list of golfers, yeah, we can find potential in most of these golfers, you know, down below. But really, your cream is already at the top, right? We have Sung Jae up here, Shane Lowry. These are your top guys in the world. Like if I would go to 2023, you can also find this on the Dream Sheet. You can sort this by OWGR. So if we're looking at OWGR, Sung Jae is number 8. Well, this was not updated this week. This is from last week, which I'm sure the rankings are very similar. Sung Jae, 18th in the world. Billy Horschel, 19th. Shane Lowry, 22nd. Sepp Straka, 30th. Aaron Wise, 40th. Like, we still have a good number of top 50 golfers in the world at this event. So it's not like this is, you know, lacking any firepower. I mean, it's lacking the big guns, but I don't have an issue. Like, I guess if we look at 2022, I should have the OWGR points here as well. You know, of your top 5 guys, OWGR, one of them was in the optimal lineup. That was Daniel Berger. 2021, do I have it? I do. There we go. You know, and if we have less actually top 50 golfers here, neither of them were in the optimal lineup, but we did have one in the GPP winning lineup. And I guess if we extend it to top 60, we'd have one here as well. I guess what I'm getting at with all of this is, yeah, I don't have an OWGR for 2020, is these salaries are based off of, you know, OWGR. Like, sure, you know, your top, you know, top 5, top 6, they're $9,000 and above. This is your OWGR in 2021. 2022, everyone's $9,000 and above that are, you know, in the top. Well, hold on. Here's your top 50. We do have 2 golfers in the top 50 of the OWGR in the optimal lineup. And let's see, Lee Westwood is $7,800, but everyone else is $8,800 and above. So salaries do matter. Like, we can look at, yes, gently tickle that like button. I usually like to say just gently massage the tip of the thumb. Just gently massage that tip. Thank you, Byron, by the way. Nice to see you. Hopefully all your pods went well this week so far. I'm on this like diatribe of talking about top 5 salary guys in the field and basically wanting to build around them because of, you know, DraftKings isn't stupid when they create their salaries. They're not just randomly putting salaries together and being like, oh yeah, no, we're going to give $10,000 to Tiger Woods at the Genesis Invitational just because. It's based off of OWGR. It's based off of odds to win the tournament. So why don't we use that to our favor? So basically what I'm doing is I'm going and I'm looking at all the top 50 golfers in the world that were at this event over the last couple of years, looking at their salaries to tell everyone this is how DraftKings does everything, and also showing everyone we probably want 1 or 2 golfers from this list because that's what we see in the optimal lineup each year. 2021 not so much, but in 2021 we extended to top 60, it would work out. Either way, we had a GPP winning lineup guy here with Adam Scott. So anyways, what I'm getting at with all of that is we probably want to select one of these guys to anchor our lineups around. And we could actually select 2 if we really, really wanted to. One other thing I like to look at, so if I was actually pairing like some of these buckets together, I'm kind of looking at like a 10K golfer and then last year and last week. So we had Alex Noren not playing the year before. 2019, we also had Brooks Koepka not playing the year before. Do they both have? Yeah, they both have course history. So Noren and Brooks did. Tommy Fleetwood also had course history but did not play the year before. 2021, we really don't have that, but you could include Adam Scott because he was in your GPP winning lineup. And Daniel Berger, also same way. So like I said, if I'm pairing up combos of buckets, which I used to do, I'm kind of seeing the same thing. We don't get that with these top guys, which kind of sucks. But maybe that's where you go to like Min-Woo Lee or Matt Kuchar. And I shouldn't even say it sucks. Like that's something I'm hoping to you know, jump on. Your Sweet Spot Optimal had Sung Jae Im last year, and he obviously finished first the year before that. Not so great here with your top price guys. Now I'm grasping at straws. Okay. I just saw that while it was running through. I still think though, even though we don't get that, I mean, that's why I kind of stopped doing bucket combos, because you kind of go into the weeds and get a little lost. But I think grabbing one of these guys is the way to do it. So which of this is like, which of these golfers are you gonna really anchor around your lineups? Personally, I don't think it's Alex Noren for me. I think I'm just out with Alex Noren. And despite Shane Lowry getting a top 20 finish last week, I'm probably not playing Lowry. Like, I don't, and this is probably just a bias of mine, but I like Sung Jae, Chris Kirk, and Billy Horschel. What do you guys feel like? So anyways, like I was saying, one of my strategies that I'm doing, and what I'm actually going to do, I'm just going to sort out by the last 9K golfer that I see. I need to resort this because I want to go by salaries. Shouldn't have changed anything. I think we're all good. And I think I have all my 9K golfers right here. I don't. Who's our 8th guy? Oh, Min-Woo Lee, way down here. All right, hold on. I'm actually just gonna back it up. I don't care. We're gonna leave it like that. Billy H2O. Is that like, are you foreshadowing Billy just swimming in the water here at the Honda Classic for how many golf balls he's going to be hitting into the water, Byron? Billy Ho and Sung Jae Im. So Ryan, Chad Eckert actually asked about a Sung Jae Billy Ho lineup, but I certainly can continue building those lineups because obviously we were just talking about those guys. So let's do it. We need a big community win. So let's put our collective brains together. Let's find 2 golfers we really want to play around, or maybe we find up to 4. Oh, Byron has he's looked into the crystal ball, which I wouldn't surprise me. You probably have a genie hat at home, don't you? The master of costumes, the master of disguise, Byron. He's letting us know that Kuchar's gonna win this tournament. Anyways, like I was saying, whether it's through black magic that you know, Back9Bets likes to do, or it's just through, you know, rational thinking. Who are the guys that we want to anchor our lineups around? Like, do we have, hold on. I actually have I have, what do we call this? Oh my God. It's like an activity. I can't think of another word as an activity. I have a group activity. Let's put it that way. Byron, you're going to give me a golfer that you want to play. Give me 2 golfers. Byron, this is your assignment. There we go. Assignment. All the people that are in here, I'm going to ask you, give me your top 3 guys. So, Mike Burns, I think you're still in here. Give me your top 3 guys. Ryan McQueen, give me your top 3 guys. Shot Like Harden, give me your top 3 guys. Joanne already gave me her top 3 guys. It looks like M, McCarthy, and Dietrich. So, that's your assignment. Anyone watching, top 3 dudes. And we're going to put them all together. And we're going to build a lineup with those golfers in it. That's your assignment. I'll give you, you know, like 30 seconds. Type it into the chat. I'll give you my top 3. Sungjae's number 1 for me. Number 2 is Mr. Taylor Pendrith. And number 3 is Ben Griffin. These are my 3. So let's see here. How can I do this? Oh, yeah. I know what I'm going to do. So we're going to go Sungjae, Griffin, Pendrith for me. I'm going to save those over here. M, Kirk, and Cooch. Love that. M, Kirk, Cooch. M, Poston, and Billy Ho. What else do we have here? Pendrith, Buckley, and M. Okay. Pendrith. I keep, like, something in my head is telling me someone other than Pendrith. And Hayden Buckley. Kuchar, Sig, and Dietrich. Look at Byron coming in here and just blowing everything up. Boo that man. Boo. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Byron. Love you, buddy. Kuchar, Sig. Well, you know where Sig would be on my list. You're just touting Sig as much as you possibly can, right? Just just for that one time he hits, and then you can be like, I told you so. Okay. So, I'm sorry, I'm going all crazy. I hope I don't give anyone epilepsy. How are we gonna... Okay, hold on. First of all, I guess what I'm gonna do, let's just sort it. This is probably the easiest. I was gonna do a count if thing, but we don't need to do that. 1 Ben Griffin, that's from me. 1 Billy Horschel, that is from our boy Shot Like Harden. Chris Kirk 1 time, Sig 1 time, Buckley 1 time, Poston 1 time. And now we get into our juice, I suppose. Oh, whoa. Well, yeah, that works. We have Kuchar, M, and Pendrith showing up several times. So, I think that's where we start. Good. I'm glad Alex Noren just withdrew. Perfect. That makes life much more... He wasn't going to do well anyways. Let's face it. He wasn't going to do well anyways. Kuchar, Sungjae, and Taylor Pendrith. Those are the guys that show up several times. We are anchoring around those golfers. Kuchar, Sungjae, and Pendrith. I think what I might also do is get rid of Benny Ann Oh, you know what? Hold on. No. We can't do it. We can't do what I'm thinking about doing. Yes. Alrighty. So the first lineup we're building with Im, Pendrith, and Kuchar. It just works out perfect. It breaks. We can't do it if that thought experiment just crumbled underneath us. Oh, you want to know why it doesn't work? Is because Kuchar and Im are paired together. I forgot about this. This is what Gabe came in and he did the same thing. He wanted two guys together. So we just can't already with the sweet spot process. You know what we can do actually? So get this garbage out of here. Yeah, no, we're gonna follow the sweet spot process. We're not gonna have Im and Kuchar together. So here's what I will do. I'm gonna give a boost to each one of those players, each one of them, and I am gonna do a count if. I can't do it right there. Never mind. Never mind. We're gonna give some boosts to these golfers. So I'm gonna give a 100-point boost. How about a 200-point boost? 200-point boost to all the golfers that were named. That way, hopefully the optimizer selects them. Horschel, okay. I gotta remember that it's a 200-point bonus because I have to change these all back. Gotta give a boost to Dietrich since that's what our boy Byron wants. Lame. Let's see. I've already forgotten where I'm at, but I think I need to add 200 points to Kuchar. This is that moment where it's like streamer blacks out, doesn't remember anything that was just happening. I once again blame Barry, who's not here. So if Barry was here, I'd just throw him under the table once again. Hostin, I think we just need to add Buckley and Sig. Yeah, okay. Sig is way down here. Way down here. Why are we picking Sig, Byron? Okay. I'm not going to lock anyone in. These 200-point bonuses should do the trick already. We basically have everything covered with this lineup, right? Griffin for me. Chris Kirk for Ryan McQueen. Pendrith for myself and Byron. There was two Dietrichs. I should have seen that because I forgot to add McCarthy. We got to add McCarthy for Joanne. Where's McCarthy? Am I blind? He's $9,200, right? I'm selected. It's one of those moments where you've selected the golfer and you're looking above what you selected and what you selected below. It's like one of those times if I'm watching, I'm just like, dude, you're on it already. You're on it already. Like, just pick it. All right, there we go. We got you covered, Joanne. My apologies. Okay, so let's run this again. Well, first of all, I don't want Ryan Moore in the lineup anyways. Ben Griffin, Taylor Pendrith. Now we get Denny McCarthy in there, which I don't mind. JT Poston, Hayden Buckley, and Lee Hodges. That is a cash game lineup if I've ever seen one. Okay. You know what? I like it. I'm saving it. I'm gonna save it right here. Hey, and our boy, our University of Florida, Tyson Alexander gets added to the mix. We had Kirk in there, Pendrith. We're just skipping Im. Not terrible. I don't mind that. There's our boy Aaron Baddeley. I believe, what was it? Mondo? Mondo was in here earlier? Yeah. I think Mondo asked for Aaron Baddeley. Here we go. Grayson Sig gets added just for Byron. These are really our community lineups, right, guys? Like, if we're really being honest about this. What about Bez, Ryan? What do you want to know about Christian Bezuidenhout? I don't mind Bez. Do you want me to add him to your threesome and take out somebody? Or are we doing Im, Kirk, and Cooch? This is another great lineup. I like this one. Just gonna save all of... Oh, I actually saved it. Let's delete it. Okay. Bez 58th. Not great. If Byron is still in the chat, maybe our fellow South African can tell us all about Christian Bezuidenhout and whether or not we should play him. Yeah, I agree, shot like Harden. I did say that a little earlier. I think Bez plays hard tracks well, and especially when, like, because I think Christian Bezuidenhout, one of his best skills is making par, which sounds funny, but I think I kind of fall into this category of golfer. Like, when I'm on the golf course, I could set myself up with the greatest look at birdie and just flat out miss the putt. And it's one of the easiest putts to hit, but for whatever reason, I think because of how easygoing it is, like, oh, this is for birdie, like, at least I'm not scrambling to make par. Where I kind of lose a little bit of focus and, you know, shove a putt or pull a putt or something like that. But if I get myself in a sticky situation, I get up and down for par like a champ. And I think that's exactly what Christian Bezuidenhout does too. Ooh. I wish Barry was here. I wonder if he's still on someone like Steven Yeager. Because I wonder if he would take that bet against you. Did you make that bet with Barry? Shot like Harden? It's funny you say that, Byron, because MJ Duffy had came across the optimizer earlier, and I was like, I don't know. If Byron was here, we'd have to ask him about MJ Duffy. And I said the exact same thing I said about Seabez, a fellow South African. I don't mind someone like MJ Duffy. Is this a course? Is Duffy like a bomber? I don't remember off the top of my head. Byron, the reason that I paid attention to Seabez's play is because, again, it's a lot like mine. Although I think I probably hit it 20 yards further than he does off the tee. Again, it's like, you could set me up with a 4-foot birdie putt and I'm going to find a way to miss it. But I'll drain a 35-foot par putt like it's, you know, in my sleep, essentially. There's just something weird about not wanting to make bogey. That's easy for me. Like, when I'm in tournaments and I'm playing against other people, my scorecard's clean, usually. Maybe I shoot 1, 2, 3 under or whatever, but it's only with 1, 2, 3 birdies, maybe an eagle put in there or whatever. But then when you see other people's scorecards, it's lit up like a Christmas tree, like birdies in bunches, followed by a double or a triple or whatever, or maybe it's just a bunch of birdies and, you know, I'm still in like 3rd, 4th place, but I hadn't made a bogey in my entire round. I know. Where in the hell is Barry? Maybe. Well, who knows? He might not even be on Steven Yeager. Maybe there aren't no. Maybe because this course is so tough, there are no Jaeger bombs to be had. Maybe not. Okay. Ryan, do you want me to try to fit Bez in one of these lineups? Is that kind of why you're asking? By the way, I also agree. Oh yeah, I would get that 5-point bonus for bogey free round. I'd be just like a Jason Day. You know I hate Jason Day, but I would play just like Jason Day does. Just make pars, just begrudgingly, and then make 1 or 2 bogeys and miss the cut. That's, well, I'll get 1 bogey free round, and then the next one it'll be like 2 birdies, a double, and 1 bogey to miss the cut by 1. And give you absolutely 0 DraftKings points other than the 5-point bogey free round. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with Byron. I think there is very little upside with Bez. Now, hey, this is actually, if there was a moment to actually play C-Bez, it would be at this event. Because what I talk about in the preview? You know, we look at the results over the last few years. Sepp Straka won this at 10 under, so you're not really getting a lot of birdies. As I go through this, 12 under is going to be the highest score that we see. Everything else is it's less than double digits under par. So like, you know, well, and also, okay, here's one thing I think a lot of people fail to do, including myself. Look at where even is and placement points. You know, I'm going through, so we have 16th place was even par in 2022. 2021 looks like it was more of a scoring, but that was 33rd. Then we come back up to 17th. That was even par. Go down to 30th place. That was even par in 2019. 2012, it was even par. Of course, you'd have to look into weather and try to determine all of this, but look, you get top 20 placement points for just shooting even par, is basically what I'm getting at with all of this. So, with that being said, I mean, and this could be a year where 12 under wins it. I mean, it looks like the wind is going to be pretty benign. So, there he is. There's Barry R. Barry, we've been talking mad shit about you this whole pod. I still have you right here as top commenter, but I don't know if you're actually the top commenter. I just wanted to continue to put up there that you owe me money from last week. I also forgot to update the new subscriber. I usually like to try to update the new subscriber every video that I create, just to, you know, provide some recognition for people that are coming in. I was running behind this week, or well, this week, but today I was running behind today. So anyways, back to the C-Bez. If even par is 16th place, that's enough placement points to be in a GPP winning lineup. I mean, I guess if we were to go back to, what was it, 2022? So no, oh geez, in 2020, hey, good luck everyone, because in 2022 we had a guy that had 6 golfers, had 6 golfers in the lineups, all finished inside the top 10, which is what we're trying to do here with the whole optimal lineup strategy, is find 6 of our golfers in the top 10. This week might be difficult. We had Phil down here at $7,400 in 2021. Aaron Wise in 13th place. Just want to see some of these. So let's go to 2021. 2021, we had Phil and Wise, so -4, and Phil was -2. Okay, so maybe even par isn't what we want in our golfers. And hey, look at that. C-Bez last year, 25th, 1 over par, kind of what we were just talking about. Let's see. So we're at 2021, 2020. Let's do this. Jeez, 11th place. That's not going to get it done. These are all guys under par. I was hoping to find one guy in a GPP winning lineup, like one lineup that actually had someone. Well, actually, this was lineup number 2 that tied. There was a tie in 2020. So Schwartzel and Harris English, and I know there's a question about Harris English in the chat. I'll get to that. I do like Harris English this week, by the way. 2020, 17th place was what in 2020? Even par. Look at that. So we could play C-Bez and be fine. See you later, Mike. Thanks for jumping in the chat and providing some participation. And actually, all your research too. Forgot about that. He went and looked at some of the colleges that these guys are playing at. Gave us a weather update. Appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, Barry, we need to know the 6Ks because, oh, by the way, Barry, I gave an assignment for everyone that was in chat, and I have one for you too. Give me your top 3 plays this week. If you haven't done any research, that's on you, man. That's your fault. You should have before coming here. So I want no excuses. See you later, Byron. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry, I'm changing the music up. I didn't like what was being played. All right. Going back to the lineup builds. And this has been more strategy than it's been lineup building, which is, I mean, kind of what we're supposed to be doing in the strategy video. All right, so here we go. I don't even know if Byron saw this before he left, but his boy MJ Duffy shows up in our lineups. Griffin, Kirk, Pendrith. I'm gonna keep that one. That's a good one. Did that lineup make you any money? Shot like Harden? Ooh, Matty Schmidt. I don't know about this one. Ooh, Marty Doe. Interesting. I don't mind a Marty Doe lineup. All right. That's awesome. Oh, Paul Haley. Who asked about Paul Haley? I'm not sure who was it that asked for Paul Haley. Was it Mike Burns? Trying to remember. Someone was like, how do you feel about Haley? Maybe it was Gabe. Yeah. Yeah, that was Gabriel. Gabriel Brown. Okay. Anyways. Shot like Harden. I went aggressive. I've been aggressive the last few weeks. Kind of. It's not really my MO. So I don't think I was just overconfident, maybe a little bit. C-Bez. We have a C-Bez sighting. It has all of the golfers that we like, that we added. Griffin, Kirk, McCarthy, Bez, Buckley, and Sig. Interesting. I kind of like this strategy a little bit better, where I ask you for your top 3 guys. Barry, I could give you a quick rundown. I mean, you already know how the marquee tee times work, but here are your marquee tee times. We've already had a few questions asked for Matt Kuchar and Sung Jae Im. Obviously, that doesn't work. You know, putting lineups together following the sweet spot process. So I've had to reject some of those. But here you go. Anybody popping out to you right here? Like 2 guys, 3 guys? By the way, can most of you guys see the screen decently? I could always zoom in if it's something that interests you. I haven't figured out the, pardon the pun, but the sweet spot of how zoomed in I should have this for you guys. Shot like hard. My worst week was 2 weeks ago. I think I put in like 90 bucks and I got $7 back. That was terrible. Last week I got a third of my money back, but still not great. It was funny, like 2 weeks ago I went heavy on Rom, I believe. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And then last week I went heavy on Rory. Not that I should have flipped them around, because I don't think I could have played... Well, I could have played Rory 2 weeks ago. But that was obviously a Scheffler. Should have had Scheffler there. Anyways. Okay. Barry's had enough time to look at this. Let's go back into the optimizer. Yeah. Ben Taylor and Justin Suh I see from that list as value. Well, I would say, you know, when it comes to the marquee tee times, yeah, they're obviously in play because they're in the marquee tee times. And if that adds value to these players, then so be it. That makes sense. I was going to say Justin Suh is 34th in my model. And he's playing with my boy Taylor Pendrith. So, okay, yeah. I mean, we've built some Sung Jae and Billy Ho lineups. I don't think we really have done Chris Kirk and Billy Ho lineups, so that makes sense. I'm gonna have to do something. So, one thing that I'd asked people to do, Barry, was to give me their top 3 golfers, the people that are in chat. Because I gave them all 200-point bonuses to kind of the metric here, and that's what the optimizer uses when selecting players. So, like Ben Griffin is one of my favorite. He was one of the 3 that I selected. And then we had a couple people pick Chris Kirk. Joanne picked Denny McCarthy. Buckley, I can't remember who that went to. Someone picked Buckley. And then Barry also picked, or not Barry, Byron picked Grayson Sigg. So, they're showing up. So we're kind of creating a community lineup, essentially, without really forcing it. So we're obviously adding like 200 points. I know, shot like Harden, I can't not lock in Sung Jae. Like, everything inside of me wants to go Sung Jae, Taylor Pendrith. Like, that's what I want to build all my lineups around. But I think the most successful that I've been when playing DraftKings is doing the strategy that I'd set out, that I said earlier on. I don't know if you guys heard that, but basically I'm going to pair, so there are only 2 10K golfers. I'm going to pair those 10K golfers with each 9K golfer at least once, if it can happen. Obviously we have marquee tee time, so that can't necessarily happen. Because Kuchar and Sung Jae are together, so I can't pair those guys up together. But I'm going to do that at least once. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably create, you know, at least 3 combos of each of those combos, like 3 lineups of each of those combos. So basically, I'll put Sung Jae Im and Aaron Wise in 3 lineups. I'll put Sung Jae and Chris Kirk in 3 lineups. Sung Jae and Dietrich into 3 lineups. And then I'll use the optimizer to fill out the rest. So I think that's, I'm going to do that this week because I've been failing to do that every single week. And usually when you do it that way, you get enough diversity, and you're also kind of hedging yourself a little bit. So you have all the combos, you know, covered. But I don't remember the last time there wasn't a 10K golfer, or I should say this, there wasn't a combo of at least a 10 and a 9K golfer together, or 2 9K golfers in the optimal lineup. So I think I'll do that. I'm not going to do like, you know, 2 to 3 lineups of different 9K combos. So I'm just going to do the 10s and the 9s, probably create 60 some lineups that way. And then with the remaining 60 or so that I'll create, I'll just leave it open, and the optimizer can, you know, select a few 9K golfers together or a couple 9K golfers, and that's fine. I'm going to spread it out this week. I'm not going to get narrow focused. Like, I'm not, or narrow minded when it comes to lineup builds. What was it? Eric Martins calls it the spray method. Just spray as many lineups out there as possible and see which ones hit. Spray and pray, I think that's what it's called. Gross. I don't want camera Percy. I think I'm going to reset these values and kind of go back into some combos. Because we're kind of seeing the same things. Like, hey, I don't mind like a JT Poston, Pendrith, Kirk, Griffin. Yeah, I'm going to reset these values. I think we've created enough community lineups that if you liked any of these, you could certainly save them. Let's not end on a Jimmy Walker lineup, though. Or a Nicholas Echevarria. Whoa! So, Satoshi came up on one of Gabriel's lineups, I want to say. And I didn't have anything negative to say about Satoshi Kodaira, but I did say I wish Sung Kang was better, but I'd built a lineup with Sung Kang in it, and I'm like, oh, this one stinks. So, hey, rewind, find the Sung Kang lineup, and obviously that one's going to win a GPP, right? Because that's how karma works. That's how fate has it. Whatever you want to call it. I can't get behind Tyler Duncan. Just can't do it. How do we feel about David Lingmerth, Barry? Yeah, shot like Harden's luck is pretty bad. He will stink it up. Jokes, obviously. Sort of kidding, kind of not kidding, you know? I'm kidding, of course. Let's see, we want to get down to Grayson Sig. I think he was the lowest guy. Was Harris English 848? Where are you at, bud? 848. Harris English. Yep. Aaron Rye, English, Hodges, Hardy. Rye, English, Hodges, Hardy. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure that I had pasted these values correctly. Okay, so Kuchar. Was it Kuchar in Kirk? Is that who Barry wanted to? Oh, it was Billy Ho and Kirk. It's kind of crazy that Billy Horschel's not in a marquee tee time. Well, fine, Barry. No Lingmerth. Okay, cool. All right, so we have Griffin, Kirk, Horschel, Ben Taylor, Seabez, who we were just talking about not too long ago, and Callum Tarrant. Or Tarrant. What, do we have 11 people in chat? Is that what I see? Anyone who wants to come up with a new combo of golfers to put together, I will build lineups around your combos. Aaron Baddeley, we kind of already discussed him. Mondo was the one that asked about Baddeley. How do we feel about Cam Davis? Oh, all right, Barry. Well, hold on here, Shot Like Harden. If Barry had the sports almanac, do you think he's just holding out because he doesn't want to make it too obvious, like he knows the answers? Why isn't he already, like, you know, a millionaire or a billionaire? Like, oh my God, I can't remember his name. Who's the villain? All I can think of is Buzz from Home Alone. Oh my goodness. If I had a way to like give out channel points or something, or some kind of reward for like a contest, I'd say the first one to come up with a name, I'd give whatever. You have like 5 seconds to give me the name of the Back to the Future guy. Biff! See, okay, Buzz, Biff, yeah. We got it. Ryan McQueen's the winner. He gets all the notoriety. And the notoriety just comes from me saying his name. That's all you get. All right. Not both. It's either Billy Ho or Chris Kirk. But, well, hold on. Yeah, you did. You did get it, Ryan. We have to lock in Sung Kang, Andrew Novak, or Satoshi Kodaira. I'm gonna have to find those guys. They're all the way. Let's give Kodaira a 100-point bonus. Let's give Novak a 100-point bonus. And Sung Kang. That's all that you get. This is the Barry bump. That's what we're calling it, the Barry bump. They get 100-point bumps to their score. Does not show up on the first lineup, but your boy Kirk is there. So maybe that's a win. Do I have to give 200-point bonuses to those chumps? Is that what this is going to have to be like? Ooh, we have our first Barry lineup guy, Satoshi Kodaira. Fits in with Sung J.M., Ben Griffin, and Billy Horschel. Alrighty. I guess I have to save this one, don't I? Have another Callum Tarrant. I should probably figure out how to say his last name. It's gonna bother me if I'm saying it wrong. Griffin, Kirk, Pendrith, Davis. I like that lineup. That's a good lineup. I feel like I've already saved this one. Okay. Yeah. We'll put that down here as well. Why I'm saving them down here as opposed to what I was doing last week is I don't have the exposure set to 100%, and I just don't feel like muddying the water. Man, where does Brandon Wu, where does he reside? 7,300 Brandon Wu. In a marquee tee time, New York and California, so I think he's off the table. Oh, was that a sexy lineup? Shot Like Harden? The one with Satoshi Kodaira in it. Here's a lineup for last week. We have Steven Yeager. Look at that price jump. What was Yeager last week? Was he a 6K golfer? Was he $6,800 or $6,900? And now he's $7,800. He got the berry bump in price tag. Griffin, okay, so Griffin's just going to continue to show up. We got our first sexy lineup. The sexy lineup. There we go. We got our sexy lineup stamp of approval from Shot Like Harden. Oh, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. It was this one. My bad. My bad. My bad. I messed it up. Bummer. Oh, Ryan coming in with the dad jokes. All right, all right. I'm giving you a pass. You can stay in. You can stay. You can stay here if you want. Just don't do it again. More like Yeager bombs your lineups this week. Sorry, had to do it. Had to one up you, man. Had to one up you with the dad jokes. Still a good lineup. I like this lineup. Every time I scroll down, I'm gonna see the sexy lineup. We're gonna see if that actually happens. Okay. We want to see Sungjae, Wise, and ooh, I like. Okay, you're speaking my language, Barry. I hope this involves Satoshi or Sung King or whatever other loser that you selected. I already forgot, but I hope it selects these guys. I mean, by the way, if I go with these guys and I don't win any monies, you're owing me double, sir. You already owe me $100. So how we feel about this one? Add Will Gordon, Mark Hubbard to our Satoshi Kodaira pick. Here, let's Hubbard's gonna probably show up a bunch because he already has with some of these forced lineups, these locked lineups. Ooh, I like that lineup. SH Kim, Dylan Fratelli, Satoshi Kodaira. I think we're gonna say that. Shot Like Harden, is this a sexy lineup or is this kind of like? I mean, it does have Dylan Fratelli. He wears those yellow sunglasses. Kind of looks like a nerd out there. He's got like a long sleeve shirt underneath his polo. Is he a nerd? Is he cool? We don't know. We have no idea. Okay, we do like Hubbard, so we got to keep Hubbard in play. My bad. Yeah. Do we like Dylan Fratelli or no? I kind of like SH Kim. Oh, I'm not locking anyone, man. So I will allow the optimizer. So this no means he'll be locked out. Kodaira is not locked in. I don't mind this lineup. This is a good lineup. I need Shot Like Harden's stamp of approval of making this a sexy lineup as well. Kind of like it. I like Benny Ann this week, so it gets my stamp of approval. Is this a good lineup? I like Tyson Alexander. He's our boy from Florida. We learned that in this stream. Kind of like him. Barry, do we have any feelings on Tyson Alexander? Oh boy, we're in trouble. Barry likes Benny Ann. My very first lineup I built on stream, Barry, was 4 Bens, a Billy Horschel, and a Sung JM. It was Sung JM, Ben Griffin, Billy Horschel, Byung Hun An, which obviously we call Benny Ann. Ben Martin was in it, and I forgot what the other Ben was, but it was another Ben that was in here. Was it the one I just said? No. I don't remember which Ben it was. I don't know. Can you have too many Bens in a lineup? Asking for a friend. No Alexander for. Do you even know who Tyson Alexander is, Barry? Are we just making things up? Ben Taylor was the other Ben. There we go. See, there's the Bens. I was trying to think of like a country bluegrass band with 4 Bens, a Sung J, and a Billy. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There's a 10-second delay between you and I, so you probably beat me to the punch. But I said it before reading it. So I beat you to the punch, sir. Anyways. This isn't terrible. I like Sung J, Wise, and Pendrith together. Seems solid. That makes me think, all right, so Shot Like Harden has a fetish. That's good to know. It's a little personal, man. We didn't need to know that, but hey, you do you. That would work so well if we were doing like LPGA lineups. Of course, then they would all be like priced $13,000 though. All right, it's starting to get watered down. I'm not sure how I like some of these lineups. Don't really care that much at all. Yeah, okay. Yep, we're done. We're done with those. So one thing I wanted to look at, we kind of tiered these out with prices, right? Now, I went over optimal lineups. Those are easy to kind of gather because you could just look at the top of the leaderboard, but I want to see what the GPP winning lineups did when it came to price tags. So 11-6, we don't have that this week. We had top 10, top 10, top 10. So we're okay if we, in 2020, went with some of these top price guys. 2021, we would have been okay as well. I mean, we had 3 SweetSpot optimals up here at the top with salaries. We also had 2 GPP winning lineups, and then we also had 2 optimal lineup guys. I'm only looking at this because, Barry, you just selected 3 top price guys, and don't get me wrong, my brain goes there as well. Like, that's what I'm thinking about doing with building lineups this week. Yeah, I think we're okay. We're okay doing that because we have enough top 10s and top 20s in the last few years to feel confident in doing that. Like 2021, this year right here is the only like questionable one. But when it comes to just price tags, oh yeah, 2020 would have been too. But like here's Taylor Pendrith, $8,900. $9,300 is, I don't know off the top of my head. And then 10-7 is really where Sung J is, but we don't have that this week. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Trying to find some patterns. Ooh, that 87, that is a sweet spot price tag, it looks like. pretty darn close. $87 to $9,100. Our boy, Mr. Pendrith is in there. Yeah, I mean, I'm cherry picking some of these things. You know, $9,100 Cam Tringali, 89 to 93. Not so much here, but 88 there, I guess. Yeah, 2019, not great. Primarily because you had, well, not so much primarily. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to figure out where I should really feel comfortable with building lineups. I think I gotta start with Sung Jae. I think I have to. Yeah, and I'm gonna be on the opposite side of you, Barry. I don't think I can fade the two 10K golfers. I like that prediction that you have there, Barry. I actually don't mind that either. Like Lowry or Sung Jae to miss the cut, I think is very much on the table. Yeah, and I don't think Sung Jae is gonna miss 2 cuts in a row. An 8th, a 1st, a missed cut. Justin Thomas has played this before too, right? No, he's missed a cut here. At least I think he has. Yeah. I mean, what about this with JT? 3rd missed cut wins. Eighth missed cut top 10s. Just trying to find just the smallest things. I would say Lowry misses the cut. I think last year, although I think Lowry, it probably fits him. How great would it be if I had a freaking database up and running, like a website that could show you all the missed cut, like all the top 10s, what happens to them the next year? Like, do they miss the cut? Here, whoa. We can do that, right? So 2021 miscut or top 10 miscuts. You know, we're always gonna find like, you know, 2 top 20s or a top 20 into a top 10. We're always gonna find that. Sung Jae followed up his win with an 8th place. It doesn't really say anything. Keith Mitchell followed up his win with a missed cut. Ricky with the missed cut. Kepka with the missed cut. 30th for JT. Missed cut for these guys here at the top. Missed cut after a win with Ricky Fowler. Missed cuts and withdraws here. This might be one of those moments where... This might be one of those tournaments, I should say, where having a top 10 the year before is not a good omen, but maybe having a top 20 isn't terrible. Looks like Adam Scott. That's not terrible. Well, Adam Scott in 2016 followed up his, well, I should say in 2017, followed up his win with the 14th. So this looks good. So there we have one instance where it wasn't terrible after a win. But basically, when we look at optimal lineups, having a win the year before does not look good at this event. Russell Knox, by the way, 2nd into a 3rd. That's pretty good. And a miscut. So what was that, like a 50% cut rate after winning at this event over the last 10 years? Look at, you guys get me into thinking of these things in a different way. I enjoy these live videos because it's like, or these live streams, because I mean, like Shot Like Harden got me on Taylor Montgomery. What was it? The American Express. This is basically telling me I don't want to play Shane Lowry having a win the year before. Only in 2016 or 2017 did Adam Scott follow up his win with a top 20. And that was it. Missed cut from Ricky. 30th place by JT. Missed cut by Mitchell. 8th place finish Sungjae the year after. But I don't think he was in the optimal lineup. He might have been in the GPP winning lineup. He was in the SweetSpot optimal. So he wasn't in the GPP or the optimal, but he was in the SweetSpot optimal. So there's that. Matt Jones finished with a missed cut, and we don't know. I have like 1,000 tabs to these spreadsheets, by the way. This is my course history tab. Well, Barry, so that's like to me, that's the beauty of the bucket system, because it kind of gives you an idea of, you know, kind of like success rates. Something I might add in the future. Actually, let's go to the buckets. So, just to give you like a raw number type of thing, I'm gonna hide this down to here, and we can look at, maybe I'll also hide this one. So like, here's our finishes the year before. So this is the buckets that they would fall under, and this is your raw totals. So if we're looking at missed cuts the year before, that's what this bucket is, right? Bucket 5 is always missed cuts. So if you're just looking at your raw totals, you have at least one golfer who's missed the cut every single year inside the top 10 the next year. So a guy who missed the cut the year before finishes inside the top 10, which sounds great, right? Like we have anywhere from 1 to 5. Now we can pair that up with how many golfers are usually in that bucket every single year. So I've got the totals down here. So when there was one last year, there were actually 32 golfers in that bucket. So it's not a good ratio. When there was 5, there were 41 golfers. So it's like when you increase the number, you know, the likelihood of you finding a golfer that does finish inside the top 10 will increase raw number wise, but like percentage wise, not so much. And we have, you know, 34 this year, so that kind of matches, you know, right here. So we could probably anticipate one guy who missed the cut the year before being inside the top 10. And that doesn't help our Sungjae comment. Like that doesn't help whatsoever, which makes me also think we should go back to the course history page and see what every winner did the year before. That would probably be helpful as well, not what actually follows. But we could also look at other things like, you know, top 20s would be a good number to look at. You know, that obviously gets a little bit better. 373 made cuts. It's like less than 50% of each field. So like our cuts made, 14 happened in 2020. These are again golfers who missed the cut the year before, and there were 32. So that's less than half. 2652, that's exactly 50%. 10 out of 26, that's less than half. Here's a better one, 22 out of 36. So you kind of see not a really good cut made percentage for guys who missed the cut the year before to finish inside the top 10. And obviously that's what we're chasing, right? So if I went back to course history and we look at everyone who has won, what did they do the year before? 33rd place finish, 47th, 51st, missed cut by Keith Mitchell, but that was his first time playing, so that wouldn't really include Sungjae. Missed cut for JT, So that one thing that I cherry picked that actually worked. 6th place, so a top 10 from Ricky the year before. Didn't play for Adam Scott the year before that. And a missed cut from Patty Harrington. He had played prior to 2013. I just don't have the stats going back to 2013. So also not a really good indication of a winner. So I don't think Sungjae we really think is going to win. And it's also showing that having a missed cut the year before is like finding a needle in a haystack. So everyone who is in that bucket, I mean, we can do some powers of deduction, right? So Sungjae and Aaron Wise, probably not great to pair together. There are mold breakers, as they always are, right? There's always mold breakers. So 10 and 9, Hayden Buckley's in there, which doesn't really do me any favors because I kind of liked Hayden Buckley. We were all talking about Hayden Buckley. But then we look at all of these golfers down here, and I'd say none of them are that good. So let's actually dig a little bit further into this. I'm sorry, you guys have me on a wild goose chase now. I want to know guys who missed the cut the year before. So Brian Stewart was 6,600. Actually, hold on. Go by price tag. So no one was more than $8,100 in 2022 that missed the cut the year before. Go by price tag. Joaquin Neiman missed the cut the year before, finished 25th. Chris Kirk was up there. Got a little beefier price tags. Oh, our guy was 6K in this one. No one was priced more than $8,000 in 2020. Yeah, I don't know if we're even going to get anything concrete about, like, okay, maybe we will. Ricky Fowler. He's our one instance where we have someone more expensive than $8,000 who missed the cut in top 10. What else did we have in 2021? Yeah, Yako finished 25th. That's not going to hurt you. It's not going to win you a GBP, though. And I don't have... Oh, I do have salaries in 2018. Okay. And then obviously we have Justin Thomas. So I guess, you know, we have JT and Ricky and Yako as our only real instances of a 10K golfer missing the cut the year before, and what their placements are. And I would put Sungjae in the caliber of these golfers, right? I don't think that's far-fetched. Like, obviously JT, I think is a tier above Sungjae, but I'd put Ricky at, by the way, in 2019, Ricky, I would definitely do that. And in 2021, Joaquin Neiman, I'd put in that category with Sungjae, right? I guess what I see in all of this is it makes me a little bit more confident to play someone like Sungjae in. So we have to include price tag when it comes into guys who missed the cut the year before to really figure out, you know, what do those actual stats say. So, God, that was a deep dive. I probably have like, I see the chats were going crazy. It's Barry and Shot Like Harden just having conversations with each other. Let's see here. Let's go. Balance just feels better too, but I feel like it's so obvious Sungjae wins. Yeah, I agree. And then obviously Lowry Sungjae, okay. All right, I see where I'm at. Unless you're Burger. Where the hell is Burger? Burger's rehabbing. Yeah, Barry said it. He's still injured. Barry, we did. What was his name? Mike Burns. He looked at the weather for us, and what he said, basically, okay, Thursday 13 miles an hour, Friday and Saturday 9-mile-an-hour wind, and Sunday 8 miles an hour, and it looks clear with no rain. So yeah, just like what Shot Like Harden said. Cool. Look at that. See, I enjoy these things. These are great things to discuss and to do a deep dive. When I get the website up and running, that's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be looking at the website, going over all of the information that I have. Like everything that we just did here will be put into reports that'll be easier to access and be able to get that information a lot faster than basically me going year by year and going through all this stuff. But gotta get there. I need the time. Let's see here. I feel like I've been saying that forever. I just need to take like a week off of work, my real job, and just hammer down on the website. Anyways, so I think we cross out Shane Lowry, although I'm still going to play him in the lineups that I kind of said. But I think what this does for me is these last year fives, I am projecting somewhere between 0 to 3 to be inside the top 10. My own personal optimizer, so when I send this to you guys, like Ryan McQueen and Mike Burns wants it, and Alex, well, maybe not Alex, can't remember, but basically I'm gonna send it to you like this, but what I'm gonna do is probably just put this to 1. Might put it to 2, might keep it at 2, but most likely I think that just tells me everything I want to know. I just want 1. Do we have any other combos that we want to put together? Let's see, last year 5. Yeah, we've already noticed that there have been up to 5 top 10 finishes. What did we... I have that blackout moment where I just forgot what we talked about. 1, 1, 1. 2016, we had 5 guys who missed the cut the year before that finished top 10. 2016, and how many were there actually? 41. Okay. 2016. JT, Brad McDowell, VJ, Horschel, Scott Brown. Huh. I mean, like, just name-wise, like name recognition, that makes sense with Horschel. VJ, I think in 2016 was 40. No, I think he was 50 some years old. Because I remember him being like, he was in contention. That was crazy. We wouldn't have expected it. But he'd already been on the Champions Tour at this time. And Graham McDowell was, off. He'd played well at this tournament before, but we hadn't seen him in a while. But like JT is just a high caliber golfer. Even in 2016 when he was that much younger. Yeah, I think we're okay with like Scott Brown is really the only name outside of, I guess, VJ at that time. I'd have been like, yeah, probably not, right? I agree, Barry. Hey, Ryan. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, I already shot like Harden if you are still in the chat. See you later, man. Man, Barry, I wish they would do a Millie Maker. I want, like, now that football's over with, I feel like we can get enough people into golf to constitute or to, you know, persuade DraftKings to have a Millie Maker. All right, so I guess what I see with that, since this week, I guess I wouldn't mind putting a Wise and Sung Jae together, but that to me limits my missed cuts to 2. I'm not putting more than 2 missed cuts in my lineup, just from the eyeball test. So I am going to limit this to 2 and go from there. All of that, just to say that. So I like Sung Jae. Pendrith. I think I just lock in Sung Jae and go from there. Like I said, I want it to create a bunch of 9K lineups for me, or a bunch of lineups with 9K golfers in it. Here you go, Barry Andrew Novak. How do you feel about Danny Willett? I don't mind Danny Willett this week. I think he's a fine play. I'm actually going to cross him out though. 837. I don't want to open it back up to some of these other golfers that I said no to. Oh, shoot. Oh, I put yes to Willett, stupid. Well, that's your, when everything's cleared and you lock in Willett, Novak comes with. I like this lineup a lot. Did we already look at this one? Yes, we did. This is our sexy lineup. Now, okay. Dude, I think last year, either the end of last year or whatever, I thought Davis Riley was just going to be the next breakout star. Like, he'd been playing so good. And then the fall swing happened and he was god awful. Like, maybe he's just a Bermuda truther. Here's our 4 Bens right here. This is the lineup. Ben Griffin, Benny Ann, Ben Taylor, and Ben Martin. It has come full circle. We are back where we started. I don't mind this lineup. We're gonna save it. We might as well. It came back. We'll save it right here. Anyone else in chat would like to see a couple combos made? Give me your give me 2 golfers to build lineups around, 3 golfers, 4 golfers, anything like that. I will certainly do that. I'm gonna give a little more opportunity to your boy Satoshi and Sung Kang, because they're just gonna keep showing up with the same golfers. It looks like Chris Kirk is a popular choice to go with Sung Jae. Quite frankly, I don't mind that play whatsoever. Yeah, I like Robbie Shelton this week too. I think like Robbie was showing some good stuff at like the Sony Open, I think. Where is he? Trying to find what's his price tag. I can't. My eyes are moving way. Oh, there he is. $7,800. Okay. $7,800. Bob Shelton. Oh, I wanted to go to a different page. Hold on. Bobbert. American Express was good. Oh, I thought he did better at the Sony. Weird. Well, I mean, American Express would be, it's not really shortish golf courses, but definitely Pebble is a shorter golf course, and so is, well, so is Sony. Sony's a short golf course. What happened at Sony? I don't know. Can't remember at the top of my head. Yeah, I don't mind playing someone like Bob Shelton. I think that's fine. We did see this lineup, didn't we? No, this is... Did we see this lineup? I think we did. We might see the same couple lineups here. Scott Brown, he was a top 10 in what, 2016? Is that what we said? I don't mind going like playing a Scott Brown. Oh, here's a new one. I haven't seen this one, but I mean, Ben Griffin shows up a lot. Do you like Ben Griffin this week, Barry? Okay. He was in the GPP winning lineup. Sung Jae and Bob Shelton. Interesting. How are you feeling about Aaron Rai? Ben Griffin and Aaron Rai. I don't mind this lineup. I want to see a non-Ben Griffin lineup with these guys. Yeah, dude, I can't. Like, Griffin is an automatic lock, so I like to create one lineup and put it into like multiple winner-take-all lineups or contests, I should say. And you can guarantee Ben Griffin's going to be in my lineup for those for sure. It's too good of a value for me. I can add him with Sung Jae really easy. Yeah, I can't not. Like, I want to as much as possible. It's not a terrible lineup. 875 for Mr. Taran. How you do that? And I want to open it up back up to Novak. I kind of do like Novak this week. The more I see the name, the more I'm getting more comfortable thinking about playing him. Yeah, and this is the one thing I love about the optimizer when it comes to the 7K range is it's going to select the 7Ks based off of the buckets, and that's going to be heavily decided on who we anchor our lineups around, because not every 7K is going to be available depending on what top two guys that we play. So I'm cool with it making the tough choices for me. Like, I like these three: Gordon, Benny Ann, Davis Riley. Like, that's a good lineup. Hey man, I agree with you. I'm never gonna be someone who shies away from the 6K range. Like, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was listening to some podcasts like, oh, don't go in the 6K range, it's garbage or whatever. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure if we look at last week, oh, I already forgot what the optimal lineup was. I'd have to rewatch my video. Yeah, you wanted a 6K golfer, and this event is one of those events that leave a lot of money on the table for optimal lineups, meaning there's a lot of low salary golfers that finish inside the top 10, and that's a lot to do with how risk rewarding this golf course is. Like, a lot of trouble lurks all around at the golf course here. Oh, I know. Yes, Svensson got a huge price boost. He is, what is he, in a marquee tee time with someone? I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, so he's with Kuchar and Sung Jae. So I wouldn't even play Svensson just based off of that. Do you like Cam Davis this week? I'm not sure. I have no idea what happened to Cam Davis. Like, he played Sony really poorly. He's been just bad for whatever reason. $8,100. Miscut at Genesis, miscut at Farmers, miscut at the American Express, 32nd at Sony. I imagine his stroke gain data is probably not going to be great either. Last 7 weeks, he's been positive off the tee, which you would expect. Okay. When it comes to approach, his putting's been really bad. Okay. I mean, I think putting can come around. Oh my God, this is just gonna... Was Cam Davis the play this week? You think a lot of people are just not gonna want to play Cam Davis because of how bad he's been playing recently? His Bermuda stats are pretty good too. 14%, top 10 success rate. Oh, okay. I gotta change my tune about Cam Davis. We're keeping it. Sungjae, Denny, and Bez? Sure, I can do that. No problemo. I suppose the analysis that I just did, do you actually think that he's going to get a high bump in ownership because of this? I mean, do you not think some people are going to look at his past performances and just be like, okay, if there's something wrong with him? Or is everyone going to come to the conclusion that I just did? It's like, oh, the putter's been really bad. That, I'm sure, will correct itself over time. These greens aren't difficult either, right? They're pretty flat. But so was American Express. American Express didn't have hard greens either. Yeah, I understood what you meant. All right, man. Here's the lineup for you. Sungjae, Denny, Will Gordon, Bez, Mark Hubbard, and Novak. Leaving $800 on the table. Not terrible. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine by me. I don't want to... Okay, I'm going to leave this up to 4,900. I'm going to build like 5 lineups, and then I'm going to close... I'm going to change it to 49.5 as the minimum. There's another 49.2, and I think it's mostly because of... I mean, Gordon and Hubbard keep showing up, so... He's somewhat different. You think length has been the... Has it been the narrative? I've listened to 0 podcasts this week. 0. I have no idea. The thing that I've been seeing around like Twitter is people posting about water being, you know, ever present at this golf course. The fact that you're gonna want golfers who, I don't know, just this, that, and the other thing, essentially. All has to do with accuracy. Well, here's a lineup. Don't mind this one. And if Cam Davis gets 10% or more, that's fine. I don't see that being a leverage detriment. I mean, if Cam... I don't know, man. The ownership conversation is so goofy to me. Like, what... Like, I get the raw numbers between 18% and 16%, like what kind of leverage you'd get there. It's 2%. But really, what is the actual leverage between 18% and 9%? You know, if you were saying like, oh, he's going to be 8% owned or 9% owned, people would be all over that. But when it's 18% owned, it's like, nah, that's too high for me. Do we really know the numbers that go into like the different lineups and stuff? Like, why are we, you know, super concerned about like 18% versus 9%? Like a 9% difference isn't super big. Not in my opinion. And distance will always be a key stat for me in everything. Distance is just raw potential. I don't know if you follow Josh Bennett on Twitter. Every once in a while, there are certain things he says that I absolutely 1000% agree with. And I think it was like Joe Idoni was posting something about you don't want to miss right here. And what Josh was like, well, that's hard to distinguish because a golfer's miss to the right might be because there's no trouble to the right. And quite frankly, there are players, most of the players on tour are looking for angles. So if there are pins that are on the left side of greens, or if there's, you know, an angle where you want to be on the right side of the hole, missing on the right side doesn't really give you a full picture of why a golfer misses to the right side. So I feel like the same thing kind of applies with total driving. Now I get the premise behind it, but you know, there are just people who, yeah, we'd have to look at every single golf course, every single tournament, look at the rough length, look at the strategies that most golfers put on that. Like, let's say like 80% of the field misses to the right on hole 3, you know, at the Sony Open. Well, is that even a good stat to include into the missing to the right, you know, narrative, or to the right stat? Like, that doesn't, it wouldn't make any sense if everyone else is missing there. I mean, you're gonna always have people that are just trying to get fairways, but I would say this, I'm not criticizing total driving versus distance whatsoever, because total driving includes distance into it. So I'm right there with you. I just think I'll always look at off the tee as a deciding factor for me. Sure. Yep, I get that. I understand that pricing is more of a concern for you and the players around them. For me, and I know I'm not everyone, I look at Cam Davis and I'm like, oh, that's not a sexy play. I don't want to play Cam Davis here. He's been playing really terribly. I would say not a lot of people really follow my train of thought, but if I'm thinking it, I can't be the only one thinking it. What do you think about this lineup? This is a sexy lineup. This includes Robbie Shelton, who we were just talking about. Lee Hodges, I think, is a Southern boy. Tennessee and Alabama. Yeah. I like that lineup a lot. Sign me up. The more and more I build lineups and the more I'm looking into this, the more I'm actually liking a lot of the players in the field. Like, I'm kind of thinking of this. Like, I think Lowry for sure is out. Im I like a lot. Griffin I like a lot. I have no issue playing with Wise. I like the idea of playing Wise this week. Kirk, Pendrith. Probably out on Dietrich. Don't really necessarily like him here. I do like Billy Horschel. Don't really care for Matt Kuchar. I like McCarthy. I don't mind Poston, although I think his upside is capped at this event, so I'm going to actually unselect him. Gordon, 7,500, I don't mind. We were just talking about Cam Davis, I don't mind him. I really like Benny Ann. I like Davis Riley. I'll play some SH Kim in my life. Don't really so much care for Taylor. We just found out Norin withdrew, so we don't have to worry about him. Bez, I don't know. I do like Bob Shelton. I don't care about... I guess never mind. I don't care for him. I like English. I like Hodges. And I think that's probably where I'm going to stay with that. By the way, now that I see this, you see Tyson Alexander down here, $6,400. Is he the only 6K golfer this high? Mark Hubbard, 7,000. He's close. Where's the next 6K golfer for me? Ryan Moore. Interesting. Man, stats from like Sony Open must really inflate his ranking his score for me. 35th in my model? What is going on? Not terrible top 10 Bermuda stats. I mean, 6 events though under his belt. Probably very varying events. Over the last 7 weeks, negative off the tee, negative approach. Makes it up on around the green and putting, which, hey, I don't mind that. That just tells me that you're a gamer. He's a flat 0 strokes gained total over the last 7 weeks. Okay. Don't like the fact that he's negative off the tee and negative approach. I thought he was a bigger ball hitter than this. The broadcast at the Sony Open would have told me that he hits the ball real far. 297, right in the middle. Okay. I was solely mistaken. Ooh, GD Knight. I just realized GD Knight when I was doing the giveaways this last or for yesterday's video. I always put an I after your N and well between the N and the G. I just thought it just said GD Knight. I don't even know if it goes by GD Knight. I have no idea. Maybe it's just GDKNGHT. Or is this like a play on words? Is this good night? Is that what that is? Is it good night? Let's see, Barry. Barry asks, can you pull up what was the optimal lineup pricing for the players the year Swafford won the American Express 2 years ago? Sure. Swafford 2022. Is this what you see? Optimal lineup pricing? Yeah, so your optimal lineup was right here, but it was gross. You left $7,000 on the table. We're not doing that. So SweetSpot optimal, really your realistic optimal, I guess. Still crushed the GPP, and that was a 10, a 9, 3 7s, and a 6. Okay, good night. Good night, 95. All right, so Barry. Now you see this. What does this tell you? What does this make you feel like? This is the American Express for anyone that is just jumping in or unsure what I'm talking about. Good night. I did terribly. Last week was not my worst week, but it was not a good week. Where was you said McCarthy? Sungjae and Denny around the same pricing? I'm not sure where Denny McCarthy is. 7,400. And Sungjae's 99. So yeah, Sungjae was, but not so much Denny. Were we thinking about someone else's or someone else? Because this week Denny is what, 9,100, and Sungjae is 10,700. Yeah, I could fade the 8Ks, but I mean, I really like Pendrith. The rest of these don't really do it for me. I mean, we already talked about Cam Davis. I'm really not... I do like Harris English. Like, if there were two 8K golfers that you told me I had to play, it'd be Pendrith and Harris English. And I also I'm not going to shy away from playing Johnny Vegas. And I'm sure Seabez will be in some of my lineups, but yeah, I don't necessarily care. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying, Barry. So basically, Zalatoris, which was $9,100, and Cantlay, that was $10,900. We subtract $200 from Cantlay. We get to Sungjae, and with that extra $200, we bump up Zalatoris from $9,100 to $9,300, and then we get... Well, we get Matt Kuchar, but I guess Denny McCarthy, 91, same as Zalatoris. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and honestly, like, you know, when we were going through, we're looking at all the prices, like when I was sorting this, and we were looking at the top, you know, 5 top 10 golfers each year. The one thing I noticed was on this page, this is 20 some golfers, 26 golfers, only 2 were in the optimal lineup. Like 2020, we had 3 in the optimal lineup, but we also had, I mean, so this blue indicates a GPP winner. Also, the red font also indicates another GPP winning lineup. So like 2020, there was a ton. 2021, you know, 9,800. Well, the SweetSpot Optimal or the Realistic Optimal had 3 guys up here. We also had 3 GPP winning lineups, and then we only had 2 optimal lineups. And then obviously 2022. It's like a max of 3. 3 in the top 25 salary is what you want, but that's kind of like how you would do it every single year. But what this kind of tells us is don't go balanced. You still want to kind of go a little... I mean, 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 is always the route that I would say. 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. I mean, that's what you have basically here. Berger 9, Lowry 9, or I mean, Berger 10, Lowry 9, Woodland 8K. This also kind of matches Sungjae's, you know, Denny McCarthy, and then Seabez, you know, 8,200, 9,400, 10,4. So I don't know. I think, yeah, this week will be interesting because it would be like 10. Wouldn't mind that. Even if you wanted to go to like an Aaron Wise, a McCarthy, a Kuchar, that'd be fine. Drop down to English, Bez, Davis. I mean, I guess Moronk. I don't think I don't know about Moronk. I really don't. Not at this event. Yeah, this is a weird one. I mean, I kind of like maybe doing, well, the bucket system tells me I want a 9K golfer. Well, if I actually take out Norin, so here's what I'm gonna do. He's out. I'm gonna confirm that he's out. Kind of believe you, everyone who's told me that, but I need to see it with my own eyeballs. He is out. Okay, cool. So if I do this, because the bucket system will... Oh, you know what? I need to just make it blank. The bucket system goes by this page. Like, it shows every stat that I need comes from this page. So it looks at course history, It looks at recent form. It looks at last week. It looks at last year. It looks at salaries. The only thing it doesn't look at is strokes gained, which is from the DK page. So when I take that out, does that change our bucket system? To having to pick, oh, it still says you want a 9K golfer. Okay. 1 to 3. And I'm going to follow that. That's what the brand is all about. So I guess I don't mind Aaron Wise to go with Sung Jae. I also don't mind Sung Jae going with Denny McCarthy or even Taylor Pendrith. 8,900 is pretty close. Yeah, Byron, what the heck? Where you been? Why'd you have to leave? What else do you have, like a wife to get to or something? Or even a life? Like, you're always at your computer. Why aren't you have this always on? Like, come on. Seriously. Well, I mean, we did hit the 3-hour mark, so I need to be closing up soon. I didn't realize it. We've been going down some interesting alleyways, trying to get to some answers. Good night. I've created a couple of lineups with Callum Tarrant in it. I can lock them in for you just to see what it looks like. We'll see what the best lineup is with Callum Tarrant. Taran, something like that. I had him and I lost him. What was his price tag? 7,100, 7,200? There he is. Found him. Oh, sweet, man. That's awesome. Busy. Here you go, good night. Well, it's always going to pick Griffin for me because he is a high value for me. But Chris Kirk, Taylor Pendrith, JT Poston, I like that. Let's take out Griffin. Pendrith, Dietrich, Horschel. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Let's take out Benny Ann. Ooh, we include Lowry. Byron, our little journey today, we've learned that Shane Lowry is going to miss the cut. It's just what the answers tell us. It's going to happen. He's going to miss the cut. Sung Jae has about an 80% chance of finishing inside the top 10. That's also, no. Somewhere between 60 to 80% chance of finishing inside the top 10. So, that's also what we learned. So if you're not locking your lineups in with Sung Jae, you are... Oh, you don't like Davis Riley? Okay. Oh, we got a couple Brits up here. Willett and Ben Taylor. I think Ben Taylor's a Brit. Pretty sure he is. Aaron Wise, Chris Kirk, like that start. Taylor Pendrith, like that. Ben Taylor, Colin Tarrant. Not terrible. Cooch. Pendrith, Horschel, Kuchar, Ben Taylor, once again. Let's get Taylor out of there. Bob Shelton and Callum Tarrant. I suppose I should probably wrap this video up sometime soon. Running on 3 hours, 13 minutes. Yeah, it's probably time. Probably time. We know Shane Lowry's not going to make the cut, so we got to kick him out. Aaron Wise, Pendrith, Horschel. I like this lineup. It includes Andrew Novak, the 6K Whisperer, and Barry. we'll just add that here to the stamp of approval. Shot like hard and sexy lineup. With a kind of, I don't know, B tier sexy lineup in this one. It's another good one right there. All right, so I guess what I've learned in all these lineup builds, I'm calling it quits there. See you later, Byron. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I think what I've learned is I want Sung Jae in my life. I want someone between that $89 and $9,200 price tag, but I don't know if it's Pendrith. Maybe it's Pendrith. Maybe it's Pendrith, and maybe it's Aaron Wise. Maybe it's these two guys. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's McCarthy. And maybe this is our GPP winning lineup. It has my boy Ben Griffin in it. I don't so much care for Mark Hubbard. I don't want Mark Hubbard at this event. I don't mind that. I probably don't want Fratelli though. I'm really liking the idea of trying to force Ben Griffin in. I'm glad the optimizer's doing this because this is exactly, I want Ben Griffin in my lineup. I don't mind playing two 6K golfers this week either, by the way. As gross as it might sound, but we are not doing Greg Chalmers, that's for sure. I already said kind of no to Lingworth. Can I find a good one? I can't do Big Rig. Can't do it this week. I can't do Jeff Ogilvy either. I might do Sean O'Hare. I could do Sean O'Hare. Gosh. Okay, you know what? I've got an idea. So, Henrik Norlander is number 100 on the list. I'm going to remove the bottom 40 and just select from the top. See if that breaks the optimizer or finds golfers that better fit. It breaks it. Right, let's try this again. I might not be able to do this. Actually, you know what? I don't have to force in a 9K. I can do it down here, so I don't have to select any McCarthy. Maybe it'll select a better lineup without McCarthy in it. D-Tree. Interesting. That's a good lineup. I like D-Tree. He's a very capable golfer. Okay. I don't mind this. Kurt Pendrith, Riley, Alexander, Kudaira. I don't know about Alexander. I'm glad that he's getting kicked out. But I mean, I guess Barry, he's our 6K whisperer. Novak, Kudaira, and King, huh? I don't think EVR was in any of the anchor buckets, but that's fine. It's pretty spread out for like projections. And EVR, he's going to be in a bucket that you could choose from, so I think that's fine. One test that I can do is just lock them in and see what optimizer does. If it breaks, then obviously it's telling you can't do it. Ooh, Kuchar. Butcher might unlock some things for us. Oh, wait a minute. This is still stuck to 1 or to 2. I don't know if I really care for Ben Taylor. Like, but I don't know why I shouldn't. Maybe I need to not have that type of thought process. Maybe it's just not a Pendrith week. Maybe I don't go with Pendrith. Can't do Cameron Percy, man. Can't do it. All right, I'm gonna make like 4 more. See what it does. Not doing anything that I like. So I'm gonna take, okay, we're taking Pendrith out. And we are going to do 2 more lineups. Yeah, good night. So Barry R is the 6K Whisperer. And he chose Steven Yeager last week, as well as Luke Liss and Kevin Tway. They all made the cut. Shot Like Harden tells me it's been like 3 weeks in a row, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't been keeping the receipts going back that far. But the lineup on the screen right now seems pretty solid. And that's including his boy Kadira. I might just have to go back down to that sneaky or that sexy lineup, right? We've already pinned it right here. This is what that was the one that was on the screen we just saw. And of course we've got our 4 Bens, a Billy and a Sung Jae. Yeager from last week, probably not. I don't want to miss out on Pendrith. I want Pendrith in my life. Whatever. Yeah, I like this lineup a lot right here. Cool. I think we're done. So I appreciate everyone that's been on, that's been participating. I always love participation, and it's great to interact, get some ideas. It was a great journey that we went on this during this pod, trying to figure out different lineup builds, looking at different trends, stuff like that. So appreciate all of you guys being on. I'm going to end the video though, just reminding everyone of some giveaways that I like to do. So if you want an entry into a $5 weekly giveaway, as well as a $50 monthly giveaway, you gotta be subscribed. Comment down below, comment in the live chat right now. This will get you an additional free entry. I will run the weekly giveaway Monday nights during the DFS previews. So next week, I'll obviously run it during the Arnold Palmer. And if you want additional entries, just go ahead and comment on each of the videos that I posted this week. I have, I think, 4 out there right now. This will be 5, something like that. Maybe I have 3 and this will be 4. But I have 2 more that I need to get out. I need to get the past optimal lineups out, as well as the review of the Genesis Invitational. So I'm currently in the process of editing those. I'm not right now, but those should be out there soon. So you'll have, like 7 entries that you can get into for the weekly giveaway. But of course, that also goes towards the monthly giveaway. We did get a new subscriber during this video, so that's wonderful. So now we're up to 491. We just need 9 new subscribers, just 9, and I'll run a $50 giveaway at the end of the month. If not, I'll give away a t-shirt. Barry, I'm sending yours out. Did I say today? Oh my god, in the preview I said today. I didn't do today. That will be tomorrow during lunch. I will leave the house, go to the post office, and wrap your shirt up and send it to you. But yes, you will get a t-shirt if we don't reach that goal. But hey, we're 9 subscribers away, so hopefully we get that. And then also Prize Picks. If you're not on Prize Picks yet, there's a link in the description below if you're in a state that allows it. If you sign up using the promo code SweetSpot, put $20 in your account, I'm gonna give you your $20 back. That way you get to play this for free, and Prize Picks will match your deposit. So that 20 will turn into 40. You get it free. You get to play it for free, and it only costs you that initial deposit. as well as the initial sign-up information. Also, they'll match your deposit up to $100. So if you want to put more money in there and get even a bigger bonus, you certainly can do that. You're still going to get $20 from me. So again, link in the description below. PrizePicks is pretty fun, so highly encourage you to do that. And of course, hopefully you follow along with me during this with the cheat sheet. I'm going to be sending the optimizer out to the people that requested it. If you do want this optimizer, you got to be subscribed to the channel, comment down below, comment in live chat, whatever. And then email me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com. Just letting me know you're interested in the optimizer, and I will send it your way. So those were all available to you. And that's all that I have. So for everyone in chat, thank you guys for watching. For all those watching on replay, also, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe on your way out, and I will see you in the next one.